Jalen Hood.
Come on, let's go. He's a rookie. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. So how's Media Day gone for you so far?
Oh, it's been great. I like the setup, of course, and it's just, of course, like we even this like the whole thing started, like we had a team meeting, and then we said like, look, Lakers is like, all the attention's here right now.
Sure.
So, like, but I can see now, because this is my first time in here for Media Day, so it's a different than the back then, when I was with the Wizards.
Sure.
Well, congratulations on your new deal as well. Travis got the same deal. It's identical
Oh, yeah?
numbers.
I don't know if you read about that.
Congrats to you.
Yeah, I got one too.
Rui, I want to ask you that just your experience. I mean, you came to the Lakers right before the trade deadline, a couple weeks before the trade deadline, and then here you were on this run, getting to the Western Conference Finals, a huge contributor in the playoffs. What was that? What was that experience like to go from, like you mentioned, you were with the Wizards, weren't really competing for a playoff spot, and then boom, here you are on the Lakers, and you find yourself in the Western Conference Finals. What was that? What was that like for you?
It was different. I feel like even last year I had like 3 different seasons. Just the beginning with the Wizards, and I got traded, Lakers, and sorry, excuse me. And after it's a playoff, so it's just like 3 different seasons. But each season, I feel like we, as a team, we got better. For me, even better, I got better. Each games, and like it was fun for me. It's just a different experience, and like you just say like just being with a championship, different motivation. So yeah, I really liked it.
Rui, I don't know if you might give me a run for my money when it comes to the biggest Shohei Ohtani fan here in Los Angeles. What does it mean to see him do what he's doing? Obviously, as somebody of Japanese descent like yourself, to see Ohtani be that amazing doing something that's never happened before.
Yeah, he's amazing. I know about baseball too, so whatever he's doing is great. I know that. And it's just as a Japanese, I'm so proud of him. It's hard to do this. It's just just came from Japan. Japan's a big country, but it's like the whole island. So we have a little, culture, different culture. So just come over here and like you gotta learn the culture, language, and like you have to play like a best of baseball.
Right.
So it's hard to do that. So but yeah, he's great. I got nothing else to say. He's great.
Who's more famous, Shohei in Japan or LeBron here?
Ooh, that's a tough one. But of course, LeBron. LeBron's like he been doing for 20 years, 30 years in the league. So of course him. But Ohtani is he's young still. He's still building his name up. So but yeah.
I told Travis this. I learned this. So about a month ago, I went to Japan and I went to a baseball game at the Tokyo Dome, and did not know there's ties in the Japan League. After 12 innings, they call the game.
Oh yeah,
it was 0-0.
Yeah.
I didn't see a run.
Yeah.
Really, I didn't see a run that whole time.
Yeah, no, it's a little different over there. We have baseball is like a number 1 sports there.
Yeah.
So, it's just everybody talk about it, and then when you're a kid, you started from baseball. Then you go to basketball or different sports, but like the baseball is the first thing that you learn. Like people that trying to teach.
Final one from me. Just the chance you guys had last year. And getting to the Western Conference Finals, how much does that just motivate you? Do you feel like there's a lot of the same faces here, which I'm sure is great from a continuity perspective. How much are you guys keeping in mind how last year ended, even though it was a great run, but obviously in Los Angeles with the Lakers, it's all about winning championships. How much does last year's run, do you think, affect this year?
For sure. Like you just said, we have those core guys from a playoff, literally. Me, Vando, D'Lo, Austin, everybody's back. So it's just we just gotta keep our chemistry up. We already have a chemistry, but we just gotta keep the chemistry up because we only have 2-3 months to figure it out, and now we have like a whole season. So it's gonna be great. We just got it might take a little bit. It might get a little slower sometimes, but like because the new guys and all the seasons, like but I think we're gonna get there. Yeah.
Rui Hachimura back with the Lakers for his second season. Rui, it's a pleasure to talk with you.
Thanks
so much.
Thank you, Rui.
Appreciate
it, man.
Thank you. Got it. Yeah, ties. I still haven't wrapped my head around that sleeve. That we still have ties in Japanese professional.
I was trying to get to the bottom of it.
Hey, look, the LeBron or Ohtani more famous in their respective countries. I think it's closer than we might think. Right? I know LeBron internationally, LeBron for sure. But just country to country, that you were just there.
No, listen.
Is there anybody more impactful?
I actually lean more towards Shohei on that. Shohei in Japan.
Yeah. All right, here we go. The head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, Darvin Ham, joining us again. So, Darvin, let's start right here. It's good to see you again. All right. So, it was a little bit more than a year ago when Al and I were up in that corner room over there when they had your introductory press conference. And then last year, we were right here doing it. What's it like for you, like a whole year going by, getting hired, going through your first season as an NBA head coach? How different is it this time around?
It's great. I mean, I think there's a lot less unknowns.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good problems. We've got a team full of great players. And so can't wait to get a chance to start trying to figure out a rotation, once we get into training camp and all of that. But, last year was a lot of heavy lifting, I mean, to put it mildly. But, again, trying to reestablish the competitive spirit, the competitive level that this franchise has always represented. And so that was big, and I felt like we were able to do that. It felt like 3 seasons in one.
I bet.
Pre-trade deadline, trade deadline, and then the whole play-in through the playoff part. So I just felt like, obviously it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but what we did do, we reestablished who we are, being back at the top of the food chain, and I think it's setting us up, the trampoline, to even a higher level.
Darvin, like you mentioned, the heavy lifting last year. Obviously, you knew there would be challenges as the head guy, right? That 1 seat over is a million miles, right?
For sure.
Did you think, like, at any point, like, man, this is even more than I thought that first year in that chair?
Nah, I kind of anticipated it coming in and trying to figure things out. And believe me, it was no fun starting off 0-5, 0-6, 2-10, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, you got to go through the valley to start making your way up the mountaintop. And, I'm just thankful for having a governor like Jeannie Buss, a partner like Rob Pelinka, constantly in my corner, constantly giving me encouragement, actually seeing how the guys, even though we came up short, had some unfortunate finishes to some big games early, the competitive nature was starting to build and be consistent. And so I knew as long as we had that, we would be okay. We would figure things out as the season wore on. And, that's exactly what happened. And so this year, I'm super duper excited. We were able to retain our core guys, bring them back. A couple of them got extensions, and the new acquisitions that we were able to find, and the guys we drafted, our two ways. I'm excited about the whole team, top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Darvin Ham taking some time to join us here on the Travis and Sliwa show. Coach, it's interesting because we had Christian Wood on here, and he talked about his relationship with you. You've heard a lot of the players talk about the relationship that you have with them. And, I guess trying to figure out, is that something that you knew when you took the role? Have you always just had that connection with the players? Has there just been that ability, maybe because you were a former player, you could see it from a little bit different of a perspective, but it seems to be a very, very strong strength of yours. Just love for you to talk about that.
Yeah, man. I think it's just my upbringing. I come from a strong family system. Grew up in a really tough place, Eastside Saginaw, and just growing up and understanding, never had anything easy or given to me. Had to work for everything, and got into this league as an undrafted player. I was fortunate enough to spend almost a decade in the league as a player and win a championship in Detroit. And the type of player I was, I think, just it reflected my character in terms of, whatever I need to do to contribute to the group, that's what it was. So I carry that when I deal with my guys, the same way as an assistant coach. And spending 4 years in the D-League when I started out on my coaching track, I think it's, those are a lot of humbling experiences. So just understanding that I want them to know that I'm there for them. I've been in their shoes. I wasn't good enough to be arrogant and be standoffish in the locker room. I was a glue guy, as they call them, just a guy willing to do whatever it took to help my team. And so I try to emit that type of energy and that type of aura to my guys, and just each and every one of them. Just treat everyone fair and have an open door policy. So if there's anything that they ever need to communicate with me, talk to me about questions they may have, we handle it accordingly and directly. And I think players respect that. As long as you're truthful with them, they may not like what you say, but they'll respect what you say.
Head coach of the Lakers, Darvin Ham, joining us here on Travis and Sliwa. And Al and I were joking, Coach, that every guy that comes by is just, I get it. It's the NBA. Guys are big. I understand that. But this is, even by NBA standards, a big team. How do you take advantage of that? How do you put all of this size to use?
it's not only the size, it's the skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
We have a ton of skilled guys that we can move around and can play a variety of different positions. I'm excited about it. We can play small, we can play fast, we can play big, what I call the Powerball lineup. And obviously, when it comes to the end of the game, normally, who's ever rocking and rolling and has found that good rhythm, not just individually but collectively, they'll finish the game. But the key is that all of these guys know that it's a long process. When you're going after what we're going after in terms of competing for a championship, there's something you don't have to constantly talk about. You have to be about it and do your work every day and understand the professionalism that's involved, because it's a 9-month process from October to June. So damn near all these guys may have their number called at some point in the season. And I call it the Lonnie Walker theory now. Like, he had gotten hurt after we made the deal at the deadline, and he kind of fell out of the rotation, but never once. I'm sure it's frustrating that he wasn't directly in the lineup, out of rotation a little bit, but he stayed working. He stayed working, stayed positive. And that's a lesson to us all. And just when you win as a group, everyone gets taken care of individually. And that can't be overstated enough. Like, when you win as a group, good things happen to everyone involved individually. So we just have to know that it's going to take all hands on deck throughout this process of 9 months to get to where we're trying to get to.
You're listening to KSPN Los Angeles. Darvin, you lose the series to the Denver Nuggets. Every game is competitive.
Yep.
You look back on that. What can you take away from that series? And give Denver all the credit in the world, but I think the way you guys did play them, it's not that it seemed like it was completely, two teams on different sides. What can you take away from that series that you think that you can bring into this year?
I just think, self-inflicted wounds. We can't do things. The team, you look around the league and everyone, there's not going to be many nights off. Even the teams that's quote unquote at the bottom of the totem pole will give you a run for your money, especially when you're a Laker. When they're playing the Lakers, everyone seems to play far above and beyond what their individual skill set is. So we have to be ready for that to get everyone's best punch. And coming out of that series, I just thought about the self-inflicted wounds, not being great in transition defense, giving up untimely offensive rebounds to them. They had guys that step up and made plays and made shots. We missed a ton of layups in that series. But just that self-inflicted wound, we have to do everything in our power to make sure we don't do anything to hurt ourselves. Mistakes are going to happen. I'm well aware of that, but we can't miss point-blank shots. We can't turn the ball over. We have to sprint back when a shot is taken to avoid giving up easy transition buckets or being off balance with our defense. And we got to finish the defense by defensive rebounding. But that was the biggest lesson, and that's the one that'll be preached starting tomorrow.
Head coach of the Lakers, Darvin Ham, getting ready to start his second season as the head coach, looking for championship number 18 along the way here in Los Angeles. Coach, always a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. You got it. I can tell you this. I'd run back on defense if he asked me to.
I'm going to listen. If he needs me to do anything.
I'm gonna get back down.
When he was explaining, some of the stuff that he was explaining, I'm like, I'm going to tuck my shirt in a little bit. I was telling Trav, I'm like, Trav, get this down there. I get that in there.
Look,
man.
I need you back on defense. I don't need you to miss any point-blank shots. I'm going to do my very best to make sure that I don't miss any point-blank shots. Emily, what do we got next?
We're going to take a break for a little bit.
Okay. We're going to take a break for a little bit. We're still supposed to have Anthony Davis. Still got a couple of other Lakers that are floating around out there.
Gabe Vincent, Olay
for sure. Got to have a talk with my Gaucho for sure. It's all coming up. It's Travis Slee live from Lakers Media Day on 710 ESPN, presented by BBGO.
You're listening to
BBGO. BBGO. BBGO, go, go. Baby scissor, baby squirt, baby chop, baby yeah. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go.
BBGO, live delicious.
back to Travis and Sliwa on Media Day.
So this is working out just perfect. I don't know where Sliwa went, but this is perfect because Gabe Vincent is joining us right now here getting Lakers Media Day, and now we can talk about nothing but Isla Vista and UCSB, and we can have the time of our lives.
Gabe. Important stuff. I love it.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm a little bit older than you, maybe a month or two here or there. I'm trying to think if there are any places that when you were there that were still there when I was there. What was your spot when you would go out in IB on a Thursday or Friday night?
Food spot
out of season, just to have a good time.
I mean,
I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, good time. IB, that's more of a house party kind of scene.
Okay.
So, kind of just went to the friend's house and hung out a little bit.
Did you ever live on DP?
I never did. No, I don't know if I would have made it this far living on DP. No, respectfully,
DP kind of my athletic career took a little bit of a detour for the one season on Del Playa. So you made the right decision to go to the NBA and go become a longtime NBA player.
Are you guys best friends now?
Yeah.
Just so
we hit it off immediately, as you can imagine.
Yeah,
we're
I
getting there.
I don't know if it was strategic, but Trav was like, "Hey, you should go take a break real quick."
We definitely were trying to get you out of here.
Yeah, you came right away. Okay, thanks, Gabe.
You could be an honorary gaucho today, though. Like,
nah, you got to earn it, Gabe. You know that.
I'm an Aztec.
You just can't give that away.
I'm an Aztec. Nothing I could do here.
You can't give that away. What's it like being a Laker?
It's great so far. It's great being back on the West Coast, getting to know my teammates, getting familiar with the staff. It's been fun. It's been a little process, but we're looking forward to it.
You look at the roster and just kind of get a chance to see that Lakers get to the Western Conference Finals. Obviously, what you accomplished in Miami last year, getting to the finals. How much can you take that experience of what you went on, and obviously the journey? I guess the common theme here. Denver was the best team in the league. They beat the Lakers. They ended up beating you guys, or when you were there in Miami. How much can you take that journey that you were on last year and apply it to this upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, it was a long journey that we fell short on. You know what I mean? So initially, there's that bit of we want to get back and get back to the finals and compete. And I feel that. I'm sure the Lakers feel that as well, falling short to Denver. So I'm sure it'll be a bit of a motivation for us to go out there and compete.
Gabe Vincent joining us here on the Trav and Slee Show. Gabe, obviously, you got to fight your way into the league. Then you got to fight your way into the rotation. Then you got to fight your way to get minutes, right? And now here you are. You're sought after free agent. You land with the Lakers, and you are a player in this league that people know. Does the guy that had to fight his way into the league ever go away, or are you always that guy?
I'm always that guy. Yeah. I think there was an early point in my career where I felt like, oh, I'm here now, and things will be different, and that's not the case. You know what I mean? This is just my path. This is what it looks like for me, and I'm getting ready for the fight.
What do you bring to this Lakers team that you think, when you get an opportunity to see some of the different players here, their strengths, their weaknesses, what specifically does Gabe Vincent bring to the Lakers?
I think I bring versatility. So I guess a cop-out answer to say I bring more than one thing, but I feel like I can complement a number of players. I feel like I can play with a number of guys, different styles. So I'm just looking forward to going out there and competing and doing whatever this team needs to win. That's really the gap I'm trying to fill.
Gabe, you hear a lot about it. Obviously, you hear about it probably more than most, talking about Heat culture and the identity that your Heat teams had. It starts with Pat Riley and goes down through the team, Eric Spoelstra and everybody else. Is there something that you see in Heat culture that is on just all good teams? Are you seeing it here in the time that you've been able to hear? Is there something that's kind of a through line through all of that?
For sure. I mean, everyone calls it something different. It's just the identity of a team. The Heat are known for calling it the culture for various teams. I know some programs I've been on across my time in this game has called it different things, have their quote unquote identity. So I'm not exactly sure what our key word of our identity will be this year, but this team definitely has one. There's no mistake they have these banners hanging up here. It's not like they don't know how to win here as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, what's your thoughts on some of the competition around the league? We mentioned it to a couple different players, but seeing Dame end up with the Milwaukee Bucks, Holiday now with the Boston Celtics, Chris Paul with the Warriors, Bradley Beal with the Suns. Just looking around the rest of the NBA, what's your thoughts on the competition?
It's great. I mean, it's the best league in the world. So, we're looking forward to competing. Obviously, there's been a lot of movement. Some teams look different. Some teams look very different. But at the end of the day, we got to roll the balls out and play and compete. So, on paper, things may look one way, but, for everyone, Denver's still the champion, and everyone else needs to scratch and claw and fight to win. So.
Slee, I forget who we asked, but it was the very first person that sat down with us today. We've talked to a handful of people. I'm having a little trouble keeping everybody straight, but I asked about
Could have been Jackson.
It was Jackson. It was Jackson
okay.
Hayes.
Okay.
And I asked about the in-season tournament that you guys are going to play, and it's brand new. And I asked, have you guys thought about it, talked about it at all? Is this something, because it's new for all of us. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it is, why I should care about it. What about the players?
I mean, I don't really personally. I don't necessarily understand it.
Well, that makes all of us so.
Yeah,
we're all
really
in the same boat.
understand it, but you know, our league is always growing and evolving and changing, and maybe this is part of it. Maybe we're trying it out. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how the fans like it. Obviously, we'll get more of a player response once we go through it and play those games and so forth. But you know, it'll be different. New
member of the LA Lakers, Gabe Vincent, legend of the Thunderdome. Gabe Vincent, Gaucho Thunderdome.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Gabe. Appreciate you, Gabe.
Appreciate
Thanks
it,
so
man.
much. Yeah, I really want somebody to tell me, Slee, at some point, here's what that in-season tournament thing is. Here's what it is. Thanks, Gabe. Appreciate you. That this is why you should care. This is why it's going to be awesome. I'm okay with hey, let's just throw it against the wall and see what happens. But that everybody's going to like, yeah, man, we'll see. We'll see. I still don't know.
I'm still stuck on the fact you guys coordinated that. The way you guys coordinated that was
it worked out pretty good. It worked out pretty good. We got a little IV time in there before, talked a little Gaucho basketball before you sat down, and then it all worked out for the best. All right, so as promised, Anthony Davis is next. He's joining us here on the Travis and Sliwa Show. AD, good to see you again. Thanks for coming by. So obviously you're an old hat at this now. You've been through it a million times.
Yeah.
Al and I
Another
about
media
all morning.
day.
I just asked Coach Ham about this a few minutes ago. Just the vibe in the room this year versus last year. Are you noticing it as well?
Yeah. Different.
Yeah.
different. You know, I think all the guys is trying to, obviously the guys that weren't here last year, are seeing how the guys who were here last year trying to build off what we did last year. And we have a mission. We have a goal. There's no moral victories. We don't look at it, we wasn't even supposed to be here and we did, so it's okay. Like, no, we were there and, we got swept, at the end of the day. And, we take, pride in that to come out and excuse my French, shake some ass this year. So,
sure.
We're ready. The energy is very good. The guys are ready. Guys been training very hard to get ready for the season.
We'll bleep it out. Don't worry. Just curse it. Let it go, AD. Let it go. Keeping that in mind, how important do you think it is that there are a lot of familiar faces that you get a chance and you're like, okay, this run that we went on, it's Rui, it's Reaves,
Right.
it's Braun, it's this. And how much do you think that's helpful? Because since you've been here, there has been a lot of change in the roster. And how much do you think that's going to help?
Oh, tremendously. Just having that camaraderie. The core guys are back besides Dennis. And you kind of need that. You need the continuity. I mean, you look at all the teams that constantly successful. That core group of guys are, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And
Denver.
Yeah,
right?
Denver, right? Denver, Golden State, Boston, like all these guys, Milwaukee, like, and we have that this year. We have the core guys that came back and added pieces around it to be successful. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I haven't had that since I've been here. So now this is different, and we can we're a couple steps ahead. Starting training camp instead of a couple steps behind.
Anthony Davis joining us here on Trav and Slee, and I want to go back to kick some ass. It's an 82-game season.
Yep.
It's a long playoff season, hopefully, as well, and making sure that you play in as many games as you can. How do you keep that intensity over what could be a 6-month season of every night going out there and saying, hey, tonight is important. Tonight matters, so you create good habits, so you put wins in the bank and not have that ebb and flow, because like any season, you're playing 80-some-odd games. There's going to be some nights where it's like, man, I'm just not feeling it.
For sure. And there's every basketball player who's ever played the game, or any sports, not just basketball, have had that. You play so many games. It's a game where it's like, guys, I don't know if I can, but that's where your teammates come in, to pick you up. Like, me and Bron said to each other all the time, we can just tell. And he was like, hey, I need you to pick me up tonight. Okay. So now, first quarter, I know my mindset is different, and same for him. And you got to lean on your teammates. And it's a gruesome season, like you said, 82 games. But the great ones find a way to do it. The great teams find a way to push through it. And you never know who it might be. Any given night, it could be anybody who steps up. We had multiple guys step up last year
and you're going to need that, and just kind of, find the guys who are the energy guys, and those are guys who have to bring it every night for sure to give us our energy. But it's on all of us to make sure that we give a collective effort every night.
I text Trav, can you pick me up? He doesn't even respond. He does nothing. I get nothing from AD. All right. Final question.
You wouldn't
me.
either, AD.
Final question for me. It's funny. I don't know how much you pay any attention to it. It could be sports talk radio shows. It could be the national narrative. And everybody here, if the Lakers have a chance to win a championship, AD's got to be an MVP. And that goes on for 15 minutes. From your perspective, what does Anthony Davis need to be on a night-in, night-out basis so the Lakers have their best version and their best opportunity to win a championship?
Dominant. Not saying it has to be, 30 and 15, 30 and 20, and 40 and 20 every night, but just leaving my presence on the game every night. AD didn't, he only had 20 or 15, but he had 20 rebounds, or he had 5 blocks, like whatever it is, just know that like AD was there tonight, had an effect on the game. And that's what I try to do. Every game do I leave my imprint on this game. And you're not going to have nights where you score the basketball and make shots, but it's other things that you can do to affect the game. And that's my mindset. It's been my mindset for a very long time. Not a one-trick pony. So, I want to make sure that whatever we do and whatever I do to help this team, I leave it all on the floor.
Getting started before too long. Anthony Davis joining us here on Travis and Sliwa. AD, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right,
you got it. Thanks, man. No, that's the idea, right? They're going to go kick ass 82 times. Think about what would you say 2 or 3 days a week we walk into the studio, it's like, yeah, I'm not feeling it today.
Yeah.
and that's it's not physical, right? You just got to go.
The lights on,
right.
the TV channel. I got to change the channel.
And bang against somebody and run up and down.
Yeah.
The pounding that it takes to do it. I know we sit here and we're like, well, why isn't he playing? Why isn't that happening? Why isn't this happening? Because it's real hard. Maybe that's part of it.
But it's interesting too. His answer of saying like, look, I just need to. You're right. We're so quick to look. He had 20 points. Well, why didn't he have 30? And he's probably saying, I had 5 blocks on the other side and I grabbed 20 rebounds. I did not have to worry about putting up 30 points. Let me have somebody else come here and find a way to impact it and go from there. So AD definitely did that.
For sure. All right, we're going to keep it going. Or maybe we're not going to keep it going.
No, he's coming. I think he's
coming. Is he coming around the other side? All right. I'm looking. We'll see. Here he comes. Here he's coming through this.
There we go.
Well. There we go. We got it figured out.
What's up, Tony?
How you doing? Taurean Prince joining us here on Travis and Sliwa. Taurean, thanks for coming by. I appreciate you so much. All right, so we're getting towards the back side
out there. We didn't know. I'm like, is he coming this way? Is he coming that way?
I thought he saw a screen over here.
Looking both ways.
Real quick.
How's media day gone for you so far?
It's going good, going smooth. That's all I can ask for.
Absolutely.
How y'all doing?
We're doing good. It's funny. Of all the signings out there, and we look at the names and some of the big names that the Lakers have, they get to the Western Conference Finals. This is my own personal belief. You've been in the league long enough, and I've seen you have such great impact with other teams. How excited are you to just be in a role that you're going to have on this team, to compete, to have a chance to, not just earn minutes, but close out games and so forth? What do you feel about this upcoming year for what you bring to the table?
Man, obviously a lot of energy, coming in with great health, so that plays a big role in that. Consistency shooting from the three-point line. I plan to get better as time goes on, and I just plan to win a lot of games, man. That's all I really play this game for, is to try to help towards winning, and I think that's the only reason I'm in it. So I plan to bring that to the team, that toughness and that mindset that no one can beat us.
Taurean, I want to go back to college real quick because it's one of my favorite moments when you described what a rebound was.
Yeah.
And is that something you had in your back pocket? Like, when I get this question, I'm going to do it like this. Or was it just in the spur of the moment? Like, man, that's a dumb question. I'm going to explain to you what a rebound is.
Yeah, it was just a spur of the moment thing for sure. I always tell people that they didn't allow us to get to the locker room and decompress after a tough L like that. So we went straight to the podium, and I was kind of just thinking about what had just transpired. So,
did you know how funny it was as you were doing it?
I didn't. Coach Drew actually told me that he's glad everybody liked it, because in the moment of it, he didn't think it was such a good decision. But I'm glad it played out that way instead of the other way.
It definitely did.
Yeah, maybe we get a couple more this year. We'll see.
Hey, maybe
a couple
maybe.
questions
I'm
come. Might
telling
come
you.
from me. Might just-
I don't try. It just happens. So if it happens, it happens.
Taurean Prince taking some time to join us here on the Travis and Sleva show. What's your thoughts on the roster? You look around and to maybe use as an example against other teams that you've represented. You're here at training camp, the LeBrons, Anthony Davis, but then also just a ton of other role players that look like they can have great impact on the team. What's your thoughts on the way the team was constructed?
Depth is a very, very, very good thing to have as a team. I think I experienced that with my 2 years in Minnesota as well. We had a lot of guys who played for us, a lot of guys who won the games for us. And I think it's a gift and a curse. I think all guys have to understand what the goal is. If they do, then they can be really good. But if you have a lot of guys that are fighting against ourselves, then it could, it could go anywhere. And I think from what I've seen since I've been here the past 3 weeks, you got a lot of guys with chips on their shoulder, even with LeBron and AD. They have something to prove. So I think that plays a factor into what we want to do and what we're going to do in order to get it. So I think that's the main recipe is everybody buying in and knowing what we want to do.
Taurean Prince is our guest. And you said everybody needs to know what the goal is, and everybody needs to be pulling towards the same end of achieving that goal. Is that common in the NBA? I mean, you've been on a handful of different teams. Are there guys like, no, man, I need to make sure that what happens for me happens first, and whatever happens with the team happens second, to have everybody pulling on the same end of the rope? Is that normal?
Well, I think you have to have, as a player, you have to have some type of accountability, some type of selfishness as far as playing your role and perfecting your role and being selfish and making sure that you play your role. That's not to say you're going to not pass the ball. It's not going to say you're not going to do things for your other teammates. But I think if you're selfish playing your role and doing what you are on the floor to do, then it obviously benefits everybody else. So I think if everybody has that mindset, we could be very good.
I think we're 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 now on the in-season tournament. Travis has asked a couple of the guys if you fully understand what's happening with the in-season tournament. I think we're still trying to figure it out.
Because I don't. That's why I'm asking.
We're trying to figure it out.
I believe that you play your regular 82 games.
Yes.
You're just going to have an asterisk by 4 out of those 82 games.
Okay.
To decide if you go 2-2 or 3-0 or 4-0 to have the best seeding in the tournament.
Okay.
That are played within those 8 days.
And do you guys care about that?
Is there an excitement?
See how I'm just looking at you? You see how I'm just staring at you? That was an amazing question at the perfect time.
That was good.
It's not. I'm going to say it's not something I think about too often.
Okay. That's a good.
Like that one?
I'm so happy.
That was great.
Every player that we've asked us about feels the same way. But I'm like, okay, I understand like the mechanics of it, but the what of it all is it's lost on me.
It's definitely super new, but
why not though, right?
Why not? Why not? If it doesn't
try it out, doesn't work.
If it doesn't hurt, it helps. So
final one for me. I think there were some people who were surprised when you became a Laker, when we ended up agreeing with the Lakers. What I know you probably had a ton of options. Why the Lakers? Just from your perspective, what happened in the offseason that you said, I want to play for that team?
I had a few other options, but at the end of the day, I think as a whole, obviously the Lakers organization having the stigma and the aura around that, and it made me come to a conclusion that I wanted to be around that type of standard on the daily, and I want to try to obtain something that I probably haven't had the opportunity to in the last 7 years of my career. So it was a good opportunity. I feel like this was the place to be able to do that and help me become even a better player that I am now and even a better man. So I think being around these guys is going to be good for me, and I think me being around them is going to be good for them.
Taurean Prince joining us here on Travis and Sleva. Taurean, thanks for your time.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
buddy.
All right.
You got it, man. Thank you. Yeah. See, I you know how I like to say this. I was right. Like, I think everybody's kind of like, okay, I get it, but what are we doing here? That was great. He's funny. Yeah. No, he's funny. He's good. Like, there's one of the things I don't try to be. I just kind of, the rebound. Do you care? I've never seen somebody look through me like that in my entire life. It was terrific. Absolutely terrific. All right.
Awesome.
Still looking for Austin Reaves?
Yep.
Still looking for anybody else, Em? Or is it
I think it's just Austin Reaves. We can ask him all the Taylor Swift
by the
questions.
way,
if you needed to step out for Gabe Vincent, then maybe we could both step out.
I'll tell you right now, we're going to ask Reaves why he waited so long.
Well, look,
Okay.
apparently she'll draw some attention.
Okay.
Apparently that will happen. That's all coming up next. It's Travis Lee from Lakers Media Day on 710 ESPN, presented by BBGO. Is your vehicle due for service? If so, head into your neighborhood Valvoline Instant Oil Change, home of the 15-minute drive-through oil change. For over 30 years, Valvoline has provided quick and convenient automotive maintenance services for busy people just like you. No dragging the kids into a dirty waiting room. At Valvoline, you stay in your car safe. You stay in your car nice and relaxed while the expert technicians make sure that your ride is at its best. Oil changes, tire rotations, transmission care, and more. Just pull up, drive in, and drive out in about 15 minutes. And with over 80 locations ready to help you get your ride ready for the road in no time, visit SoCalOilChange.com for locations and game-winning coupons off of your next Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
You're listening.
Baby go. Baby go. Baby go, go, go. Baby scissor. Baby squirt. Baby charge. Baby yeah. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go.
Pipico, live delicious.
Baby go. Baby go. Baby go, go, go. Baby scissor. Baby squirt. Baby charge. Baby yeah. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go.
Pipico, live delicious.
Baby go. Baby go. Baby go, go, go. Baby scissor. Baby skirt. Baby chart. Baby yeah. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go.
Bibigo, live delicious.
And this year on your home for Lakers basketball, our friends at Bibigo are helping making it even better. Bibigo, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers. Don't miss all the coverage of 710 Bibigo Lakers Media Day right here on 710. Bibigo, the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers. Back to the UCLA Health Training Center and back to Travis and Sliwa on Media Day.
All right, little break in the action. Still waiting for Austin Reaves to come by at some point. We'll get a conversation with him in before the end of our show, Slee. Crosstalk action in our future coming up in a little bit as well. I don't know if you got a chance to see it or not, but a pop singer was at the football game last night. Did you get a chance to check that out?
No idea what you're talking about.
Barely mentioned her at all.
There was an NFL game yesterday? I didn't even know there were.
Okay.
Oh, there were games.
Emily, come on in on this because here's the thing. I understand that she's one of the most famous people going right now. I get it. I get when she showed up last week is a big deal. It's the first time she showed up. Last night was like, okay, I'm not anti-Taylor Swift necessarily, but it's like, can we just not do it after every time the ball is snapped?
Okay, here's the question.
Tackled, cut to Taylor Swift.
Does a Taylor Swift fan, is she a little bit like, okay, hi guys, we're a little too much here?
I am kind of on that. Again, I know everybody is rejoicing on Twitter, but yes, it's become a lot. It's become that I love her as much as everybody else, or more than everybody else. But it's just, I don't know. I'm watching the game. Maybe 2 shots is fine. You know that she's there. You see a little bit of like the, celebrities in her suite. But I think that I didn't need it literally every time they went to break.
Okay, Slee, who's your favorite athlete that's participating in sports right now? Like just your favorite guy. Anybody.
Braun is
okay. LeBron
the guy.
Perfect choice. Mm-hmm. LeBron James attends a Taylor Swift concert.
He was at the Beyonce concert.
Okay. But do you need to see him sitting there watching the other person do their thing 48 times? Like I get that. I don't understand what Taylor Swift people get out of her sitting in a suite cheering.
So
what's the interest in that? What's the value?
What we liked was, in the opening thing, you're like, oh, she's here. She's wearing this cute little outfit. Like
she might be in a popcorn machine.
I love that she was standing next to Ryan Reynolds when they first showed her.
And they didn't mention
and they never even mentioned it. Again, he's a movie star. He's got
Deadpool.
That's what I mean. He's a big star. And it was like it was Travis and Slee was standing next to him.
It was Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively all there.
Sure.
And a bunch of other famous people like Sabrina Carpenter. She's a singer. She had the shirt on that said Sports Watcher. And I think that was great. But as a Taylor Swift fan, we liked her walking in, her cute little outfit. maybe one shot during the game that she looks excited. But other than that, honestly, I didn't really care. I was getting overwhelmed, and that means that it's really bad for everybody else who doesn't care about Taylor Swift.
You know what stole the weekend? Donna Kelsey with Jake from State Farm. That was so well executed that they put him in there with her, because you knew that Donna Kelsey's going to get a cutaway at some point, maybe two, but probably just one. And there's Jake from State Farm. It's one of the wait, is that really him? Is that a guy that just looks like him? That was him, Jake.
And she was wearing
Morales. They're only
nothing
props.
in there.
She was wearing the New Heights podcast hat, so obviously being the plug god over there. And then she was, talking to Jake from State Farm, and Jake from State Farm. They look like they would get along really well. I think Donna Kelsey gets along with anybody, and I think it's a good way of State Farm capturing a viral moment, and they knew what to do with there. But Chris just playing with some BB Go over here. Lakers Media Day is presented by BB Go, and BB Go is the official game day snack of the Los Angeles Lakers.
I love that. And I think this started last week anyways, but for some reason I felt like it was in every one of my feeds over the weekend. Do you see the videos, the shorts that are up there where there's all these girls trying to tell their husband,
oh yeah,
hey, how cool is that? Taylor Swift basically made Travis Kelce. Like nobody knew
put Travis
him
Kelce
before.
On the map.
Yeah, put him on the map. And they know that they're doing this to piss off their husbands. I don't know why that was so funny to me, but I watched 14 different versions of
pleasure out of doing something just to get a negative reaction out of somebody. I have no idea.
Not like you at all.
Yeah,
but I think that one cute thing that is happening. So I think I sent you maybe this video, but it's this dad was watching the Sunday Night Football game with his two little girls, and he's like, finally my little girls want to watch football, and it's because they want to see Taylor Swift. But regardless of why they're watching, it's nice quality time spent. But by the way, do you guys catch any of that Sunday Fun Day Toy Story game? What do you guys think?
I saw a little bit. I just saw it on Twitter. Yeah, I just saw it on Twitter.
It was really interesting. So obviously it was on, we were getting ready to do our Rams pregame, but it's kind of cool. You got to see the claw take these people and put them in the game, move the ball,
spot the ball with the claw. That was kind of cute.
Right. And then they had, Booger and Drew, who were the guys that were calling the game. They like had their version of themselves a little. They had a kid reporter. I think that it was executed really well. It was really fun to watch. I think it's a good way to watch if you're with your kids, or if you're like, it's kind of a game that you might, not normally watch.
I was
you might
just
put it
going
on.
to say that's the key to me, is that this is the Falcons and the Jags in London at 6:30 in the morning. Let's goof around with it a little bit. This is
Sunday
not
morning
the
cartoons.
Super Bowl. Exactly right.
Yeah.
It is let's throw it on there. If you can create a few thousand or tens of thousands more football fans that maybe didn't watch it before, it's a huge win. And there was a regular broadcast if you wanted to see it too.
I heard everybody that had kids was like, my kids love this. They're locked in. They had 7 minutes, 7 videos of like explainers to kids. Like, this is what a touchdown means. This is what a field goal means. But you know what I want to see? With the Toy Story broadcast.
It's smart.
I want to see a fight break
out.
It's
very, very smart.
I want to see these little toys fight on this thing and see what happens.
Like if there's by the way, okay, so I mentioned this to you yesterday. You saw it in the Charger game later in the day. Justin Herbert's running the ball. He's clearly out of bounds, and Jerry Tillery blows him up, starts a fight. He gets kicked out of the game.
Right.
The first possession of the Rams game, Matthew Stafford is running. Now, granted, it was
not the same kind of hit.
Wasn't quite the same, but he was clearly out of bounds and got hit pretty darn good. It wasn't like it was just a shove in the shoulder. It wasn't what Herbert took, but it was good enough. I was stunned that didn't start a fight with the Rams.
Yeah, I'm stunned. By the way, that was just such a stupid play, both of them.
Yes.
One more, you could call one a little bit stupider than the other. But I was just kind of find that amazing. I'm like, the way the league is right now, the way they protect the players, everything else, what world are we in to where you think, and I love when they put their hands up too. I know I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It's like, no, you did absolutely nothing there. But
you can't hit the quarterback, and you really can't hit the quarterback when he's a full step out of bounds. I thought for sure that when Stafford got hit like that, that Tyler Higbee or Rob Havenstein was going to come in there and
or Skoranek or something. Yeah.
Somebody was going to come in there and do something like, no, you don't get to do that, because the Chargers did. Like they came in.
Yeah, it was actually a kind of a galvanizing moment.
Oh, sure.
Them.
For sure.
All right, Stuffed Crust Pizza is back, and Pizza Hut is dropping the price for a limited time. You can order one topping pizza, original Stuffed Crust Pizza, for just $13.99. That's, of course, a winning play. Order now and earn rewards for your next free pizza at the Pizza Hut app or at pizzahut.com.
I don't know how his contract is written. So maybe if he quits, he doesn't get his money. So is Brandon Staley just actively trying to get fired in the middle of every game? Is that his modus operandi for what's going on?
Might be the worst thing. And does this happen often too, where I have a couple friends that are Charger fans, and they're rooting for the Chargers to lose at this point, saying, "Well, Chargers are 2-2. They got players, they have a roster, yet they still want them to lose because of how much they hate their coach." He's going to be around. He ain't going anywhere. He's not.
Clearly not. Clearly, the in-game decisions are not going to get him fired. He would have been fired a long time ago. We're still on Austin Reaves Watch. We are here live. Lakers Media Day on 710 ESPN, presented by BBGO. Slay and I back in just a second.
Baby go. Baby go. Baby go, go, go. Baby scissor. Baby squat. Baby chop. Baby yeah. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go.
Bibigo, live delicious.
Baby go. Baby go. Baby go, go, go. Baby scissor. Baby squat. Baby chop. Baby yeah. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go.
Bibigo, live delicious.
Baby go. Baby go. Baby go, go, go. Baby scissor. Baby squat. Baby chop. Baby yeah. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go, 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 go. Baby go.
Bibigo, live delicious.
When you look at this team, what you guys put together, what excites you the most about this season?
What excites me the most is just seeing how talented we are and how deep we are at every position. And you've seen what we could do last year with a shorter period of time. So being able to have a fresh start with this team, beginning of the season, going through training camp, going through preseason, and just seeing the talent that we have on this roster and just the carry over from last year as far as camaraderie, the chemistry, and we got so many guys that complement each other. So I'm super excited.
Jared, you mentioned it when you said continuity, but what are the specific ways do you think that continuity is going to help this team? And I guess maybe along those lines, were there things that you guys couldn't do last year that might have helped in terms of maybe a depth of a playbook or something like that, stuff that you weren't able to put in because it was such a short kind of sprint?
It wasn't so much what we couldn't do. It was just time with anything. The more time you do something, you just get better. So I feel like last year coming in mid-season, it was just a rush process, trying to hurry up and figure it out. And whether that's the playbook, figure out each other's tendencies, the team, the staff. So being able to have a fresh start this year and kind of we can show what everybody can do. I feel like the newcomers were kind of just trying to fit in what was already kind of, happening here. So, like I said, just having that time and experience together, it plays a long part in being able to build chemistry.
Vando over here. You recently signed a 4-year extension with the Lakers. What went into that decision, and what does it mean to get that type of commitment and vice versa?
It means a lot. I've been on quite a few teams, so being able to lock in on one of these organizations, it means a lot. It's just a product of hard work, the work that I put in, and to finally see the results, come to fruition. It's an amazing process, and also being able to be a part of a winning team, a winning culture, as such as the Lakers. It was a win-win situation for me, and like I said, I'm excited to be back, excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to it this season. I feel like we got a great opportunity, a special team, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Vando, what was the biggest thing individually that you worked on this offseason to improve?
Individually, I would say a lot on both ends of the floor, being able to shoot the ball. I worked a lot on shooting, finishing, ball handling, just pretty much touching up everything. And as well as defensively, getting stronger, getting faster, getting more agile. I feel like each and every summer I try to, just get better in every aspect of the game.
Hey, Vando, right here. You pretty much had all the toughest defensive matchups in the playoffs last year. Is there anything you worked on this offseason as far as being able to guard the smaller guards where you got to chase them around screens and such?
My biggest focus this summer with that is obviously strength and really just conditioning. It's a lot being able to chase those guys around, especially at my size. So I would say conditioning and just being agile, being able to chase these guys around, direction of screens, fighting through screens, and just being able to, switch out on defenders or whatever the case may be. But I think the main focus for me was also being able to guard bigger guys as well. So I think strength played a factor, and just trying to really be a guy that can guard 1 through 5. And that's my goal for the season.
During your run through the playoffs, how did that kind of build your confidence, and what was like a big lesson that you've learned just during that deep run?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Of your run through the playoffs, what are some big takeaways that you've just taken from your game, and what are some major lessons that you learned?
Throughout the playoffs, and like I said, it was a great experience. Being able to make it that far. That was my first time being in the Western Conference Finals. So, each level we got to learn something different, individually and as a team, and really just learned that I belong. What I could do better to help our team reach that next level. And like I said, I just learned how competitive it is, how every play matters, and it's all about adjustments and attention to detail when it comes to playoffs. So just being able to be more locked in that aspect as far as the mental aspect and watching film, I think that plays a lot into it, not only just, physically, obviously. So, yeah.
Yo, Vando, you spent a lot of summers, working out in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And you were unsure sometimes, what team you're going to be on. Was there a point when you signed the extension where you're like, man, I'm here on the Lakers and I signed my extension? Mm-hmm. Was there ever a point after that where you're like, dang, like just talking to your brother and family about that?
Yeah, no, it was surreal. Obviously I come out here almost every summer and train anyway. So being able to be out here full time, being a part of this type of organization and, just locking in, and, it was a great feeling for me and my family. And like I said, I'm to be a part of something special, what we have here, moving forward and being part of the future. It's like I said, it's just a great feeling. Yep.
New adventures await.
Time for midterm season, so listen up. Grammarly is a digital writing assistant. It is a must-have desktop app for anyone. It can
Can you just take us through the playoffs into Team USA and what kind of mindset that puts you in heading into this season?
Yeah, I feel like it puts me in a good mindset and a good position. I've been basically competing for the last 2 months, other than when we got back. Obviously had some downtime to relax, rest, play golf. But I feel like kind of just carried everything over from the postseason to the USA stuff, and then looking to do the same thing to start the year, and really just get the year started in the right way.
Good. As a quick follow up to that, I know you're always just going to talk about it's just part of my game, etc. But you come into this media day, you're in the first photo with LeBron and AD. How different does it feel relative to rookie year, even last year, with what your role is on the team?
Rookie year, I got out of here a lot faster. Didn't have many people to talk to, not many pitchers. Definitely feels different, like you said, being in the picture with Bron, AD, and then D'Lo. For me, it's still the same thing. Basketball is basketball. Obviously, being talked about in a different, situation or whatever you want to call it, means I'm doing something right, and really just hope to continue to get better and grow and have a really good year this year.
Austin, when since you were away, when you came back and rejoined this team, did anybody change their bodies, or because you had like the perspective of being gone from the team this summer, did anybody really stick out to you? And then I guess secondly, having some continuity entering the season, who do you think that'll open up things for most? Who will that continuity really matter for?
Yeah, I think just seeing AD and the way AD's shooting the ball, as I've talked about on a podcast, and just the way he looks, the determination that he seems to have. I've talked with coaches, Wade's staff, and said he's been in a lot this summer as far as LeBron too. But yeah, I mean, just everybody, honestly. Rui looks good. He's in a good spot shooting the ball as well. And I don't remember your second question to that. Oh yeah. I just did a podcast too and was talking about how I think it'll help D'Lo. Just having a structured situation for him to feel really comfortable. Obviously he's a very high level talent, and has done a lot of things in the league, but just being able to go through an off season, or you can even start to last year at the trade deadline, having that into the postseason, and then now having an off season, preseason, training camp, all that to kind of build that foundation, and really just give him a sense of mind of what we really are looking for out of him as a team, everything. And I expect for D'Lo to have a huge year this year.
Austin, we saw you have the ball more in your hands second half of last season into the playoffs. Game 1 against Memphis comes to mind. But Rob and Darvin last week were talking about potentially playing you more at point guard. So want to ask, how comfortable are you in that role? And what have your conversations with Darvin been like in terms of potentially you being on the ball more this season?
Yeah, I feel really comfortable. Point guard is basically the position I've played my whole life until summer college, and then obviously the last couple of years. But I feel like that's something that kind of never leaves you. Me and Darv have had conversations about that as well. Just having a little more opportunity to initiate, start, and it doesn't really necessarily mean make a play every possession, but just kind of get us into what we need to get into, and just kind of play that role. But like I've said a million times, we have so much talent on this team that every night it could be someone different, and it could be me, it could be D'Lo, Rui, like Gabe. Obviously Bron and AD is going to be Bron and AD. But like I said, so much talent, so much opportunity for everybody else. And we got to see that, as a big picture for us. We can't get caught up in individual things. Like, we have to, really accept what we have. And that's a lot of talent and a lot of guys that can, do that.
Austin, what's the biggest thing that you learned from your time with Team USA, and what's the one thing, if there's one, however many, that you hope translates in your game or your skill set from Team USA to the Lakers?
I learned a lot just being able to be around, basically all stars, Hall of Fame coaches, Spo, Steve, and Ty Lue in the NBA, and just being able to see the way that they, prepare for games, the way that they, get ready, schemes and all that. Like, you can learn a lot if you really just sit back and listen. So it isn't really just one thing that I learned. It was really just a lot of different things that, maybe I could apply to, what I do on a daily basis to get prepared for games or practice or something like that.
Hi, Austin.
How you doing?
Doing good. When you look at your team, how good can you guys be, and how good can you be in the West when it's so competitive?
We obviously think that we have enough to, compete to win a championship. Obviously, we haven't played a game yet. We got to take it, one game at a time, and can't look that far forward. But, having that, playoff push last year, Western Conference Finals, just getting that taste is really, that's all you could really think about. I mean, for me, especially, like, I just want to get back to that point and more. But I feel like we have an opportunity to do something special, and a bunch of guys that, are really unified to doing that. That's all that really matters to us.
Yeah, Austin, going around town, is there any specific example of a time when you said you realized you're a celebrity and that people know you?
Not necessarily here, because I haven't been here this summer. Obviously traveling with Team USA, but kind of that whole experience, starting Spain to the Philippines, just the ovations, I wasn't really able to really go anywhere in the Philippines, especially. Anytime I walked out of the room into the lobby, it was pictures, autographs. And if you know me, like, very, low key, state of myself kind of person. So it was really just that, just getting out, into a different country and just seeing that, people actually know who I am. It was an unbelievable experience and something that was cool to me.
Hey, Austin, Jacob Chose, ABC7. With Coach Ham announcing you and D'Lo as the starting backcourt, what was it like sharing the court with him last season, and how well do you guys feel like you complement each other?
It was great. I've said many a times that, D'Lo was a big reason for, me kind of making that jump, after the trade deadline. Just the confidence that he brought to me, the, freedom that he, preaches you to play with, that you can see the confidence that he has, and that, trickles off to everybody. So, he was major for what, I did, going down the stretch, every time out, every time, I was struggling or anything, he was the first person in my ear, telling me to let it go, to go be myself, and, just be confident in what I could do. So, super excited to, get this year kicked off, especially playing alongside him.
Hey, Austin, back here, all the way back. Hey, you've gotten a lot of attention this year, obviously, between kind of the end of the playoffs through the Team USA stuff. What do you think people were able to learn about you during that time? And what do you think they still don't get or don't really understand?
That's a great question. Hopefully everybody's learned that, you see what you get. Nothing, I feel like is going to change me from being me. You could go with the pregame fits, still going to be hoodies and sweats. And that's really, the only thing I could think of as far as, what I would hope everybody to understand. But it's been an amazing, last 6 months for me, my family, and something that I'll always remember. Perfect. Appreciate y'all.
How you doing, Rui? Ready to go? All right. LeBron just told us that you spent a lot of time with workouts this summer. I just wondered, where did that start? Did you approach him after the season, and was it, and what was kind of the main thing that you were trying to get out of those workouts throughout the summer?
I think when it started from Phil, him and I know Phil's been walking out for years, and Phil told me after the season, he said that I think I should walk out with him, this summer as much possible. I think it's gonna help my games out, bring my games up. So then I was just trying to kind of see his schedule. He has a different stuff going on too. So whenever he's here or whenever he's travel, walkouts, I just kind of follow him, and just to walk out with him. But it was great, I appreciate for him to let me walk out with him. It was a great experience for me, and just learning from him, of course, on the court, but off the court, just taking care of his body, weight room, all kind of stuff, and just talk about stuff, basketball stuff, and I learned a lot of things from him. So I appreciate him, and of course Phil. Phil's a guy. He shout out to him. He connected me and him. So yeah.
Hey Rui, good to see you. Welcome back. Far be it for me to sit here and talk about somebody losing or gaining weight, but it looks like you've changed your body a little bit this summer.
I just this is what happened. So for some of these Lakers people, the social media people, they decided to post the picture next to Brown. That was the problem. My weight was fine. I was same weight last season.
Have you changed your body at all? Did you lose weight this
it's
summer?
more. I think it's more defined. That's what it is. I've been walking out, but it's just they put the picture next to him, the Brown, so that's why it looked like I was more. It's of course, so. I was kind of mad about it, but no. My weight's fine. I'm just a little more defined, more like a basketball body. That's what it is. Yeah. Look at me. Look, you see? Yeah. No. Trust me. Yeah.
Rui, your 3-point shooting jumped almost 20% from the regular season to the playoffs with the Lakers. What do you feel like went into that rhythm and that flow that you were in, and then how sustainable do you feel like that is with the off-season work that you put in, that you can maybe not shoot 48% again, but shoot close to 40%?
Yeah, even the one when I was a Wizards, I think the one season before, I was shooting 45% or something for regular season. So it was I already had it. I just I just had to get in the rhythm. And the whole trade and everything going on is just and it was the different system. So I just had to get used to it, and I was walking out with the Phil, every day, and saying he said just be ready for those playoffs. When the playoffs come, those three gonna fold. So I would just keep walking out, and yeah, the right time, just when we were on the playoff, I just did it I just walked on, so it's just I think it's a momentum side, especially for me, bigger games for me, it's more I get my strengths up. So, it's just those stuff, always since I was kids, big games. I love those big games. So, so that's why it happened. I feel it wasn't really nothing technical change or anything. It's just a momentum side. Yeah.
Hello, Rui. Darvin mentioned last week his starters: D'Angelo, Brian, AD, Austin. So there's one job out there that's open. Do you view that as something that you want to take, or is that something that you have to work your ways towards?
Here's the thing, it's just I feel like each game is different, So even last year too, we changed a lot of starting lineup, throughout the course, even after I got traded, and we just gotta adjust, each games, and more for me, more so starting or not, I think I'm okay about playing time, more playing time is more important for me, and I want to finish the game, that's my main thing, and whatever the coaches decide, I just I'm here for, I'm fine whatever they decide, but I want to I want to finish the game. That's my goal. Yeah.
Hey, Rui. Whether it was the workouts with LeBron or just on your own, was there an area of your game or a single area of your game that you really dedicated
He was talking
yourself
about
to?
him, yes.
That you really dedicated yourself to improving just one singular area? Or
Yeah, for
any-
sure. You know, me and him walked on a lot of, mid post, like, those areas, like, a lot. And of course, we did a lot of shootings, ball handlings, like, overall, it's a whole package. But, just the footwork and the stuff. That was my main goal for this summer. And then those footwork was like really like, it's going to help my games, it's going to help my games, a different way. So I just watched him closely, and he taught me a lot of little trick, the points, like, the footwork, and yeah, it's those kind of stuff. And like, using the body, like, it's just like, he mentioned that he said like me and him has the similar body type. That's what he said. So, like, that's the thing. Like, if you have the body type like that, you can use the body and, just get to the spot and, it's an easy shot. So, those kind of stuff I worked on with him, and I think I learned a lot from him. Yeah.
こんにちは、八村選手、一番後ろの左側。
はい。
お疲れ様です。
はい、ありがとうございます。
昨シーズンは今までで一番優勝まで近づいたシーズンだったと思うんですけれども、その優勝を間近に感じたことで、今シーズンへのモチベーションはどれぐらい上がって、それに対してどんな準備をしてきたと、その準備は万端という思いでしょうか。
そうですね、正直言って、ウィザーズの時からそんな、優勝しようってやってなかったので、レギュラーシーズン始まる時も、やっぱりプレーオフに先に、プレーオフ行こうってやってたので、でもこういう、優勝チームに入ることによって、このシーズンに対してのそのモチベーションも違いますし、やっぱり長くなるな、シーズンも長くなるってことで、そういう中で自分としても、メンタル的にも体的にもこの夏準備できたと思うので、そういうところに関してはもうやっぱり優勝を目指すためにチームのケミストリーもそうですし、そういうところが今回は結構トレーニングキャンプ前から結構チームとしてもやってきてたので、そういうところはすごい役立つんじゃないかなと思います。
八村選手、どうもお疲れ様です。はい、ワールドカップを戦う日本代表を見てどのように感じましたか。あとパリ五輪の出場の方は今の時点でどのように考えていらっしゃいますでしょうか。
そうですね、僕も試合終わった後すぐ雄太さんと雄大さんと富樫君と連絡して、そうですね、もう僕もすごい嬉しくてもうずっと家で叫んでたんですけど、もうやっぱこうやって自力でそうやってオリンピックが行けたってことはすごいことですし、僕としてもすごい嬉しかったですし、こうやって僕がもうその年代、今やって4人が小さい頃からやってきて行くぞってやってきた中で、今回僕は出れなかったんですけど、そうやって僕の代わりというかその3人がしっかりやってくれて、他にも比江島さんもそうですし、他の若い子たちもそうやってやってくれて、日本全体で今までのこの積み重ねがあっての勝ちだったと思うので、僕もすごい嬉しかったですし、すごい楽しみですね。
八村選手、よろしくお願いします。改めて今シーズンの目標、そしてゴールをお聞かせください。
そうですね、もちろん優勝っていうのはもちろんありますし、それはもう絶対変わらないと思いますし、やっぱ僕らの去年のそのプレーオフでいたこのコアのメンバーも戻ってきているので、そういう中ではケミストリーは僕らももうあるので、その中で他の選手たちが入ってきてどういうふうにケミストリーになるかっていうのも楽しみですし、その自分としては個人としてはもっとアグレッシブにゴールにアタックできたらいいなと思います。
Call your cable company and cancel your subscription. This new groundbreaking discovery gives you access to your favorite channel.
Morning, LeBron. Jim Hill from KCAL 9 News. What has been or what is the key to the success for you and your longevity to play as long as you have for this high rate of success and consistency?
I just think it's having to stay focused and understand being passionate about the purity of the game. Understanding the ones that came before me, respecting, the history of the game, and also understanding that if you want to be, great at something, you gotta put in the work, and there's no substitution for work. I put in the work, on the court, off the court, keeping my mind fresh, or keeping it as fresh as I can, keeping my body as fresh as I can, keeping my game as sharp as I can, and then just pouring it all to the sport that I've loved for a lot of years now. So I think that's definitely helped me get to this point.
Can you also address, this has been an up and down year for you. I mean, one of the ups was with Mookie Betts at the ballpark at Dodger Stadium and things like that. And then there's the incident with your son. How is he doing, and how has the family managed to get through this crisis?
Bronny is doing extremely well. He has began his rehab process to get back on the floor this season with his teammates in USC, and the successful surgery that he had. But he's on the up and up. It's definitely a whirlwind and a lot of emotions for our family this summer. But the best thing we have is each other, and we stuck behind each other and gave Bronny strength throughout the whole process. And we're happy to see where he is today, and we look forward to seeing, what his future still has in store for him.
LeBron, how you doing? Just to follow up on that, how has that just put anything else into perspective for you, just as a parent, going through that as you think about your career and your family and all of it heading into year 21?
Nothing else matters besides my family, and obviously I'm gonna dedicate this, the season because to Bronny because of the incident that happened this summer, and understanding that it just puts everything in perspective, and no matter what's going on, in your life at that point in time, that the only thing that matters is your family. So to see what he had to go through, or what he's been through over the last few months, it's been a lot. I can only imagine how it's been for him, because it's been a lot for me. It's been a lot for our family. But the man above definitely has given us a lot of strength, and has given Bronny the strength to bounce back. And if he was to walk through the door right now, you wouldn't even know that he had what he had, because of how well he's moving, how vibrant he is, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to have him where he is today. And I give the biggest compliment and the biggest shout out and the biggest praise to the USC training staff and coaching staff. When the incident happened, they were Jimmy on the spot. They didn't waste no time, and they were amazing in their efforts to make sure that our son was very well taken care of, and also Cedar Sinai as well. The Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, and anybody else that had anything to do with his recovery, and it's been an amazing thing.
LeBron, first of all, very good news, and happy to hear that about Bronny. From a basketball sense, when you reassessed the Denver series, how much do you think continuity played a part in that? And then, I guess along those lines, coming into this year with a team that really only made changes around the edges, and was able to bring much of its core back, how did you feel about the continuity that you're going to enter this season with?
Very optimistic about how we can pick off where we left off. And I don't mean the loss in the series. I mean, from the trade deadline to how we played all the way up into the Western Conference Finals, I'm very optimistic on seeing how we can pick up from there. Like what you just said with the continuity, with the chemistry, there shouldn't be much teaching. Obviously we're going to, not waste any steps. We're not going to shortcut any corners or whatever the case may be, but there should not be much teaching, when it comes to, us getting back on the floor. We have that chemistry. Obviously we have some guys that we are bringing into the fold, but we returned a lot of our core, myself, AD, AR, Vando, Rui, D'Lo, Max. So we have a lot of guys that know the system, that can pick up right where we left off with just a little refresher. So, and I believe the guys that we brought in are smart enough to be able to catch on very fast.
LeBron, last time we spoke to you, you mentioned that your basketball future was uncertain. What went into deciding to return and just that process?
I don't know, just had conversations with my family, conversations with myself, getting inspired, once again from my kids, being on in the AAU circuit with Bryce, seeing how he continues to grow, his individual game, being extremely proud of Bronny being able to go off to USC and see where he was before, obviously the incident, inspired by that, and then I feel like I got a lot more in the tank to give. At that moment I didn't. I was exhausted. I was tired. Mentally, I was in too many different places mentally, and that's what drew that comment or that statement, because that's just how I felt at the moment. But I'm happy to be returning for another season and helping this team, hopefully lead this team to the promised land. That's just the goal.
LeBron, you've played on teams throughout your 20 years in the league that made the rest of the league think that maybe the ending is inevitable. You've played against teams that were out there. There's continuity throughout the entire league and a leveled playing field to some extent. I think you talk to people that could be more than a handful of legitimate contenders. How does that view of the entire league give you some, I don't know, oomph with this group, considering that you did have that great run the second half of the year, but it was still put together rather quickly?
Yeah, I don't really, especially at this point in my season, I don't really give my energy to the rest of the league until it's time to compete versus them and I'm across from them. But my energy is solely towards this team every day, on how we can get better every day, how we can not skip a step every day. And just because of how the way we finished last year doesn't mean it's going to apply to this year. But we do have this is the first time since the 2020 run that we're returning a team. Besides that run, we've been, revolving door. We've been a lot of turnover. So I'm excited about us returning our core and then bringing in a lot of very, very, very good players, that can help us continue to roll on what we was able to do. But it takes work. Like I said, there's no substitution for work, and we have to put in the work. And if we do that, we'll give ourselves a chance every single night to compete at the highest level.
LeBron, we talked to athletes who are in the last 2, 3, however many years you think you're going in your career. And I remember Derek Jeter once saying that he felt so much more urgency in those last few years than maybe in the middle. And that you just had this sense that, okay, I'm not going to be doing this 10 years in the future. How have you experienced that feeling at all? And what kind of urgency do you feel this stage in your career has brought?
Well, I have an urgency to perform at the high level, so I can be out there for my teammates. And, and I prepare my mind and my body and my soul to go out there and be available to my teammates. I know when I'm on the floor, it makes us a better team. The sense of urgency comes from me always preparing myself for the long haul and being able to put myself in a position where I can lead these guys every single night. If I can do that, then that is the sense of urgency for me, in order to put ourselves in a position where we want to be. We're all here for one common goal, and that's to win a championship. But that's months and months and months and months at the end of the road. But the most important thing is how we can continue to get better and apply, every step, each and every day, each and every week, each and every month to get to that goal. But it takes time. I feel different. I'm not as not the 21-year-old, that's for sure. Feels a little bit different getting out of bed every day. But as far as my energy level, I feel pretty good with my energy, though.
What's up, Brian?
What's going on?
The NBA had a lot of rules they put in place this year, but the resting rule, which is one that was put out there, what are your thoughts on that? And was that necessary for them to do, to have players play during the regular season?
I'm at the end of the day, I play in this league. Obviously, I'm one of 450 or 430, whatever the number is. but I'm also a businessman. I understand the business side of the game too, and the business side, having our star and marquee guys on the floor when they are available, being on the floor, the fans want to see that. The fans want to see that. I've always wanted to try to play in every game in my entire career, and sometimes because of injury or sometimes because of just the way the schedule landed, I have not been able to play every game, but I love playing in every game, and we'll see. Hopefully that happens again this year.
Yeah, LeBron, does any part of you think this could be your last season?
I don't know.
Can you expound on that?
No, I can't because I don't know. I'm happy right now. I'm excited. Looking forward to tomorrow and getting the training camp going and getting going. But I don't know what the end of this road looked like, or at the end of the season. I have no idea.
LeBron, Darvin and Rob were talking last week about how much you've worked with Hachimura. Just kind of wondering how that started. Did he approach you? Did you approach him? How often did you guys work out together? And just what have you learned about him, I guess, over the course of this time?
We've worked out together pretty much all summer. I see a lot in him. I see his potential, and I know what he can bring to the floor, not only from him individually, but also for our ball club. I call him my Daniel son, and I'm Mr. Miyagi, and I'm calling him my understudy. I get him every single day, and we work every single day while we've been together throughout this off season. And I want him to be as great as he can be, or as great as he want to be. So excited about what he has in store this year.
LeBron, do you have any interest in playing the Olympics next year? And if so, what kind of physical challenge would that be?
Yeah, I do. I do have interest. So we see what happens. But as far as physical toll, I don't know. I see how I feel at the end of the season, but from the players that we have here and that I can think off the top of my head that could fill that roster up, I don't think it'd be too much of a physical toll. I wouldn't have to do much. Rebound a little bit, pass a little bit, defend, block some shots, But we see what happens.
LeBron, to your right, speaking with Rob, earlier in the summer, he mentioned that they felt good about the treatment you and AD got after injuries you dealt with. Just where are you with the foot, and just how did it go treating that over the summer?
Yeah, obviously, a lot of my attention this summer was with my foot, and getting that back to pre-injury, that pre-Dallas game, where I pretty much tore the whole tendon on my right foot. So this summer has been a lot about rehabbing that and getting that back to where it needs to be. So looking forward. It's been reacting very well in my off-season workouts. Looking forward to seeing how it reacts throughout training camp and also preseason and then going into the regular season. But excited to see where I am as it stands today.
Hey, Ron. When you intimated last season, obviously it was a very emotional time that you were potentially considering retirement. How quickly after that did you realize I have a lot of gas left in the tank and I have a lot longer I want to play?
I don't know. I don't remember how quickly or how long it was. I can for sure tell you it wasn't super quick. I got away from the game for quite a while and just started focusing myself and my family pretty much and what we're going to do this summer and start getting my schedule ready to, travel with the kids. I know what kind of got me out of the funk though was coaching Bryce's team down in Augusta for Peach Jam, and just seeing the love and just seeing the, just play for the love of the game and being around all those kids, with our AAU program. They were just out there just competing and wanting to win and just putting everything on the line and had nothing to do about social media clicks or money or fame or none of that stuff. They were just playing to be able to put themselves in position to possibly win Peach Jam, and to have a special shout out to Rajon coming down and helping me coach throughout those few days. Truly appreciate you, though. But just seeing that kind of got me going a little bit. And but I don't have a line or a timetable when it started to turn that I will be returning this year and being back in uniform. I appreciate it.
You can sip on.
How you doing? Can you just
How you doing?
good? Hey, just ask Jalen the same question, but what did you take out of summer league, not just from what you saw, but from what the feedback of the coaches, and what do you think the difference is as you now head into training camp with LeBron and AD and the whole roster?
I'll just say just keeping it simple, just catch and shooting, just doing the simple things. If I catch and shoot, don't hesitate, and just less mistakes, I think I learned a lot. It was really fun being with those guys and being with Jalen and Fudge and all those guys. It was just fun. It was a good learning experience.
Hey, Max, we know from over here to your right, we know from the draft process, what this organization means to you and your family. I'm curious today, putting on the uniform and stuff like that, any selfies to home, any things like that. Has this been a pretty surreal day for you as a kid who grew up,
right?
Cheering for this team.
Right. Yeah. My dad's from LA, so he's 10 minutes away from here. So just being in his old stomping grounds is just great. In a good way, and it's just a blessing, I can't complain. Just playing for the Lakers, being on a championship contender team one day is great. So I'm glad to be here and be part of it.
Hey, Max. How
you doing?
How's it going? Just wondering, the new CBA allowed second-round picks to get 4-year contracts. The Lakers gave you one. Just wondering what that meant to you. I know it's complicated, but just what that meant to you to get that deal.
Just that in consideration, and them trading up 7 spots to get me was just a blessing. They must wanted me. Something I was doing, they liked. So just sticking to that, and it's just it's still surreal. So I'm just happy to be here, and it's a blessing.
Jalen, how you doing?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Good. Hey, just wondering kind of what you took out of summer league, what the feedback was from the coaches, and as you now head into full-time training camp, where you feel like you want to get your game to as you want to try to help the team.
I think the main thing was just learning how to run a team and controlling guys that are, obviously older than me. But summer league was fun. I think I got better every single game, learned a lot. It was different from college, obviously, just because of the spacing and, the way the, NBA game is. But overall, I think it was good. And, from that point on, I've just been in the gym every day getting better.
As the leader at Indiana, right, even as a young player, how do you transition now into, being a rookie with guys like Russell and Reaves and Gabe Vincent in the backcourt? What's the approach in that situation?
I mean, I think the main thing is just really being all ears and all eyes, just learning from those guys. Obviously, they're all, really good players. So for me to come in and have, those guys already here, I think it's going to be cool. I'm able to ask a lot of questions. Obviously, you can see them on the court every single day. So like I said, the main thing is really just learning and, finding ways to get better every single day.
Hey, Jalen, over here to your right. How's it going? Good to see you again. What did you take away from minicamp in San Diego and kind of getting out on the court with guys? And was there a player or a situation that really kind of grabbed your attention? I don't know. I don't want to say like welcome to the NBA type moment, but something you experienced out there that, I don't know, that you've taken with you.
I think overall San Diego was cool because it was, all of us, we've all been in the gym together, in the facility and everything we talked, but I think that was like the first time we all kind of got to build and kind of bond together, all together, doing team dinners and obviously on the court and everything. But that was really the biggest thing I took from it, is just, being around the guys, the older guys, and being able to build with those older pieces.
Jalen, what did you take away from summer league as far as how different the NBA game is and what you needed to work on to be ready for training camp?
For me, I think the main thing is just I mean, as far as, like I said, it being a different game from college, just the spacing and the speed of the game. And then the biggest thing I took away is just, like I said, learning how to control a game, understanding the importance of every single possession, and learning how to put guys in certain spots and really being more efficient. I think those are the main things.
Hey, Jalen. Here. I know you're going to learn from everybody, obviously, but is there any one particular veteran or person on this team that you've already identified as sort of like a potential mentor for you, or somebody to like who can really take you under his wing?
Honestly, not yet. I think all the vets have been pretty cool and been, answering questions and, being, good vets. There hasn't like been one guy that I've leaned on so far, but I would say pretty much all the older guys, that we have been good and have been there to, guide.
New adventures await.
At Nordstrom Rack, find great brands at great prices. Save big on go-to denim.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing, Jackson?
Good, chilling.
So you haven't even gotten on the court for official practice yet, but just wondering thoughts on the other bigs in the lineup, like AD and Christian Wood, and kind of your skill set, how you feel like that would be a fit relative to what you did in New Orleans.
I feel like all three of us are just very tall, athletic, skilled bigs, but we all kind of do our own thing a little different. Like I'm more pick and roll big. Christian can definitely space the floor and shoot the ball out well, and then AD is just very well rounded. So I feel like all three of us bring our own thing to the table. So I'm really excited to get out here with this group. Definitely like a more I'd say like more versed group at the big position I've normally been around. So I'm really excited about that.
And as a quick follow-up, there were a lot of times in New Orleans where you switched out in the perimeter as well and defend wings and guards. How comfortable are you with that, and how do you feel like that could add to a scheme on defense?
I'm really comfortable with that. I mean, Big 12 first team defense. I like playing defense. That's like something I really like to do. I mean, I don't mind switching on the guards. I don't mind having to guard the paint and block shots. So I mean, I'm really cool with whatever Coach Ham has for that game. We've talked about switching up for different games this year, and so we've already kind of talked about that some. I'm just ready to do whatever he tells me to do.
Hey, Jackson. Dan Wake with the Los Angeles Times. Why the Lakers? What was it about this situation that you liked best for yourself?
Rob and Coach Ham they called me as soon as free agency started. They were telling me they wanted another big to complement with AD. And they were going to bring in two more bigs, and they wanted me to be one of those bigs. And they felt that their guards and me would be really well in the pick and roll, and so I agreed with that. And also I agreed with how I feel like I could have fit their system and how I can fit their system this year. So I felt like that was kind of the biggest tolls to me coming here.
Have you seen some of that in workouts and stuff like that? Just some of the working with
yeah,
and pick and roll and stuff.
I mean,
like
we had mini camp. We were playing like pickup and stuff, so I'm definitely able to see that a little bit and just get used to playing with these guys, and definitely loving the way this team runs and plays.
Hey, Jackson. As someone who grew up in Ohio watching LeBron, how excited are you to be teammates with him? And have you envisioned that first lob at all?
Yeah, no, I've definitely been very excited about this. I mean, grew up in like second grade, first grade, driving up from Cincinnati to Cleveland like 4 hours to go catch a game. And now I'm on his team, so it's pretty exciting for sure. Definitely haven't pictured a first lob yet, but I'm definitely excited to catch that first lob from him in game. But yeah, no, I just can't wait to get to work.
Jackson, to your right, you mentioned LeBron's the camp that he hosts in San Diego. Just what's that like as a player to go to that? And I guess what's really the focus in that couple days that you guys are down there?
The focus is just really getting to know the new guys. All of us getting to know each other. I mean, a lot of us are new to this team this year. We have a lot of young guys too, and so it was just more to like play, compete against each other, see what everyone's all about playing wise. So we just hooping, and then after hoops, you just go eat dinner, get to know everyone real well. So I mean, that was just kind of the whole point of that. Yeah, man.
Jackson over here. With AD specifically, what do you feel like you can learn from him defensively, with him being one of the best rim protectors in the league? And then also just how do you see yourself kind of complementing his game and kind of inside outside?
Definitely. I mean, got a lot to learn from him. Obviously, I mean, I was in New Orleans right after he left, so I mean, my first few years was watching a ton of film on AD and just what he was doing for the Pels, and just me trying to be able to do that for them. And then we got a new coach, so we started switching everything. So I mean, I'm excited just to learn straight from the source itself now, and just kind of watch what he does and learn how he just plays the paint really well. And yeah, I just can't wait.
Jackson, it's another Anthony question. He was in here earlier kind of talking about his responsibility as a leader. Just wondering, how has he maybe helped you get acclimated here?
I mean, this whole past week, me and Christian have been getting in the mornings, and me, Christian, and Ant all do a big workout together. So, I mean, he's just been kind of helping us get settled in that way and hanging out, taking us out to eat, inviting us over to his house. He's just been helping in a lot of ways, so which has been really blessed.
Jackson right here. What's up, man? Good seeing you. You're only 23 years old. I don't think people honestly realize that. How do you feel like your game has grown, since you first got into the league? And then also, how do you feel like you're going to help this team as far as pace? You're really good at running the floor. How do you feel like you're going to help in those ways too?
My game's definitely grown a lot since I got in the league. I was, 18 coming in the league, so I definitely had to learn a lot. And I feel like I'm a lot smarter player. I can read the game a lot better, and then I feel like I can help this team a ton just with my pace, because obviously we have a few older guys, and so I feel like when I come in and when I'm in the game, I can just kind of speed up that pace and give the team a little spark it needs whenever we could be running a little slow or something.
Follow up on that right here. The team's weakness, one of the team's weaknesses last year was transition defense. How can you help in that way?
I feel like I can help with that a lot because, like I said, I'm a big defensive guy and I like to run. And so I'm going to make sure I get back on defense every time. And, I remember playing the Lakers last year, and that was a big key for us. Like, it was attack their transition defense. And so I want to just make sure I can help with that and just getting back and settling up in the paint. So, people aren't just getting fast break layups and stuff like that. We're good. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Dude, you coming?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Power Max Gels Cold.
What's going on?
How you doing, Cam? Good to go?
How you doing?
Good. Hey, could you just summarize what the last couple of years have been like for you heading into this opportunity now with the Lakers, and kind of where you feel like you've come as a professional and how that might impact the way you play this year?
Yeah, I feel like the last few years have been valuable. I learned a lot. I've been through all types of different things. It's been a roller coaster, but it's been fun. I've learned a lot, and I'm just looking forward to the future. And I'm just trying to stay present. And yeah. So,
what do you feel like offense and defense are the best parts of your game that fit in with what this roster is surrounding LeBron and AD and the rest of the guys?
I just think the ability to be versatile on both sides of the ball is a big part playing for the Lakers. Being able to shoot the three and also being able to drive and make plays. And then defensively is being able to guard, all the positions, guards, bigs, whoever it may be. And I'm doing that to the best of my ability.
Cam, to your right, Dan Wyke with the Los Angeles Times. You touched on this a little bit about the things you've learned over these last couple of years. It's been hard to find consistent minutes. It's been hard to find a consistent role. Do you have an idea of what the pathway is here to impact this team and winning the things that you need to do? And is it maybe clearer in this situation than it's been in other ones for you?
I'm not sure you're asking if my role is clear?
Yeah. Do you know what it's going to be? And do you know what do you think you need to do on this team to impact winning?
I don't know what my role is, but whatever it is, I will do that. And I think I've learned that over the years. Just kind of just growing up in general, realizing that it's just not, I can't do what I want to do all the time. You know what I'm saying? So then it's being impactful. I'm doing what I can do on both sides of the ball, being a pest defensively and offensively, just being aggressive and assertive. So I feel like if I do those things, I'll be successful.
Cam, over here to your left. The Lakers have had some success in recent years with younger perimeter guys on minimum contracts, and think of a guy like Malik Monk or Lonnie Walker. How much did that success that they've kind of had with those types of guys play a role with your potential role, if at all?
For me, to be honest with you, I feel like everybody's journey is different. I feel like that's another thing that I've learned. And so, I mean, I didn't look into it too deeply, but I do think it's a great opportunity for myself, for my family, for the team. Honestly, I think we have a really deep team. So I'm just looking forward to, seeing what we can do as a group.
So you're right. With Darvin Ham and Rob Pelinka, when they were talking with you during free agency, just what were they emphasizing to you about what they were looking for from you, or what you need to work on to define that role for yourself?
Well, definitely bringing that defensive presence, guarding the best players on the opposing team, and then being an offensive threat from all three, being able to score from all three levels. So I just got to make sure I'm being consistent, in my habits and things like that, to be able to show them.
Hey, Cam. I feel like your name has been linked to the Lakers for a while now. How wanted did you feel in free agency, and how big of a role did that play in you actually finally coming here?
Yeah, man. I actually think this was my first call that I got. I was at a wedding when it happened. I think this was the first call. I mean, I felt the love. I felt wanted, like you said. And even now that I'm here, it's still like been positive vibes, been good vibes. And that's big for me, especially my last couple of years have been up and down. So far so good, and I'm just looking forward to it. Appreciate it.
What's up, y'all?
How you doing, Jackson?
Good.
What's going on?
Christian, over to your right. Dan Wake here with the LA Times. What was this free agency process like for you? I'm sure it went longer than you expected, and why were the Lakers the right spot?
I think my ability to fit with this team, me knowing Coach Darvin Ham, me having a relationship with Rob, I think that was a big factor. Them calling my agent every day, me talking to Darvin Ham every day, and me being around Darvin when I was in the G League, probably about like 5-6 years ago. Him just having that, just rooting for me to try and be great. And then I see him in Milwaukee, and he was the guy I was working out with. He was my players coach, so we developed a great relationship through then. And he knew all the work I put in to try and get to where I wanted to be, and I think that was a big factor.
Christian, you mentioned the relationship with Darvin Ham being a significant factor in your decision to come to the Lakers. Just with that relationship, can you detail a little bit more, just, I guess, what those conversations were like between you and him over the offseason, and just what he was saying to you to, I guess, in essence, recruit you here?
Yeah, I mean, we mostly talked about, my fit on the team, what I could bring to the table, my ability to shoot and space the floor for these guys. I think he said we were lacking in three-point shooting last year. That's something that they want to get better at. Transition that they wanted to get better at. We just had numerous conversations like that, and he was just very transparent and honest with me, and I felt like that was just a big thing for me.
Hey, Christian, Jacob Choza, ABC7. We know what you can do on the offensive side of the ball, but what do you think you could bring defensively with this team?
I think I was pretty good at switching last year. I think I struggled guarding bigger guys in the post. That's something I've gotten better at this year. But last year, I think my ability to switch, my ability to block shots is a big thing. And then me playing with Anthony Davis and Jackson Hayes, those guys being long, lengthy centers that can block shots and move their feet. They're both mobile. I feel like we can help each other out in a lot of ways.
Christian over here. You play with a bunch of different teams over your career.
Yeah.
Do you hope that you can stick here and this becomes home for you with the Lakers?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is my hometown team. I'm from Long Beach. I grew up watching this team. I grew up watching Kobe Bryant, so this is where I want to be long term.
Christian, over here to your left. Yeah. You referenced Anthony Davis and Jackson Hayes. How do you see you guys working together in two big lineups and just the different ways you guys can complement one another?
Well, I mean, there's gonna be times where AD is gonna get doubled in the post, and he's gonna have to have a guy to throw it out to. So I think my ability to be able to space the floor for him, and Jackson Hayes, his ability to be able to get out in transition. He likes to run a lot. He likes to catch lobs, and it's showtime. So it's gonna be fun.
Christian, Anthony was in here earlier kind of talking about how he wanted to be a guy that you and Jackson could kind of lean on,
Yeah.
that he can maybe help you guys. How has he helped you since you've been here?
I mean, I would say he's been a leader. Him and LeBron, from what I've seen so far, has been a leader. Me and Anthony Davis has been in the gym since I got here on day one. I think the first day, I got here, him and LeBron, I got here at 7 a.m. Him and LeBron were already in the gym in a full sweat. So that kind of motivated me to, all right, now I got to get here earlier than LeBron and AD. But, they're waking up at 6. I don't know if I'm waking up at 6, but, 7 o'clock will do. It's fun. They're good leaders.
Hey, Christian, Darvin had mentioned his time with you in Milwaukee, and just wondered, what did you get to know about his philosophy as a coach defensively? How do you fit into the schemes that he likes to run for bigs? And then same thing on the offensive end with the ability to space, but also score inside. How does that comfortability with Darvin impact kind of how you feel like you'll fit a little bit better even in this season?
I don't want to give you the complete game plan, but okay. Yeah. Like I said, I've been saying before, my ability to be able to space the floor, I think, was a big factor for him. Like I said, this team was lacking 3-point shooting last year. He felt like it was, and my ability to knock it down at a high rate and a lot of attempts is great. So I think that was a big thing for him. I don't know what sets and stuff like that we're going to be running for me or anything like that in terms of coming off screens or stuff like that, but I think that was a big factor in my shooting ability. Yes, for sure.
Hey, Christian, right. How much do you think playing with Luka last season will help with the transition to now playing with LeBron?
Man, I think, to me, in my eyes, Luka was one of the best, pick and roll point guards in the league. I got to learn a lot in terms of him getting blitzed, double teamed, and pick and rolls, and him needing a short roll guy to kind of create the action for when he gets double teamed. I feel like I've learned a lot in doing that, and I got better. I think I was actually one of the best bigs in the pick and roll off of doing that. I think it was like me and Dwight Powell or something like that. So I want to say it's the Luka effect, but I had a little bit of part in that, and it was fun.
Christian, based on the way last season ended and the summer went for you, how motivated are you do you feel like you have things to prove to this league about the kind of player you are?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot of false narrative out there that was about me. Whether you look at it or not, I put up, I think it was 17-9 or something like that, and I signed for a vet minimum. I've seen a lot of talk of why is he going for the vet minimum? Maybe it's character issues, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But when you really look at it, I've never had any problem on the team, maybe besides Houston, and that was for defending a teammate. And if you ask me, I would probably do it again. But other than that, I've never had any problems with any team, never had any locker room problems. Every coach that I talked to has loved me. I still talk to Silas and Casey and all those guys, to this day. They root for me. Darvin Ham's been rooting for me. He's a guy that's always been in my corner, rooting for me. So I would say I have a lot to prove, and this would probably be one of my most motivated seasons since being undrafted.
Hi, Christian, over here. Hi. You just tweeted, or a couple nights ago, you just tweeted the number 18.
Mm-hmm.
Are Lakers fans maybe correct in assuming that tweet indicates maybe your confidence in this team?
Yes, for sure. I think my thing is, we came here with one goal. I have one goal. I've said it, since I've been at every single station here, that my goal is to get to the playoffs. I haven't been to the playoffs yet in my career, so that's a big thing for me. It's really like a major thing for me, and the ultimate end goal. Everybody wants to win a championship, and I think one of the things that Brian was telling me over the summer, him and AD, as they were in like the recruiting process, kind of was, we're focused on team goals and not individual goals. So that's why I'm focusing to going season, and 18 is what we want to get. Thank you, guys.
We believe saving at Target should be easy, like saving 5% on
At Ralph's, we know you like to save. That's why you get the same great deals online that you'd find in store.
There was a walk-off interview last year where you said kind of just wait and see if this group gets a training camp together.
Yeah.
And since you've worked out with several of your teammates this summer, I just wonder what you kind of meant by that at the time and how you feel like that will adjust now that it's started, in addition to the additional talent that you guys brought in.
I mean, we saw it right away. The group was kind of clicking. As soon as we got on the floor together, we had that chemistry that usually takes a training camp or some months to kind of put together. So for us to get it going right away, I felt that that's what we needed and that's what we were missing. So to get that opportunity now this year, obviously sky's the limit.
D'Angelo, welcome back. What did you make of the offseason acquisitions and what's it been like in the gym here over the last week and as you guys have all really gathered?
I think it was big time. Shout out Rob. He put a nice group together that I think can easily flow together on and off the court. I think that's kind of what it's about, continuing to have that chemistry and continuity off the floor to allow that flow to happen on the floor. So for us to have that group, some familiar faces, I think it's a big deal.
D'Angelo, you're one of those familiar faces who did return. Just what went into your decision as a free agent to come back to the Lakers?
I mean, just the opportunity, you know. We didn't finish the way we wanted to, so to get the opportunity to come back and start where we left off is always a privilege and something that I'm appreciative of. And then just being somewhere where you want it. I mean, they made an effort to come and let me know how they felt about me and made me feel wanted, and it made it easier for me to come back as well.
D'Lo, Rob talked about your off-season regimen and your training and how impressed they've been with just your body and everything. What can you say about what you did this summer and just kind of the shape you're in entering the season?
Just the work. I mean, every summer you go into the summer with a plan, something you want to kind of attack. Every summer for me, it's always about my body, you know, trying to attack that form for myself and being the best physical shape that I can be in going into training camp or whatnot. It started for me earlier this summer. You know, I had limits in my travel. I had a son, so I was at home a lot. So I got to incorporate a working regimen sooner rather than later in the summer for me. So I think it was a success. Looking forward to this one for sure.
D'Angelo, based on your season with LeBron and AD, what did you learn about last season playing with those guys, how that can help you this season?
Like I said, the more games we got under our belt, the more we were kind of figuring it out. You know, we had a group last year that it could have been anybody's year. I mean, anybody's night. You know, we were super deep team. And for this year, I think it's the same way. Got a lot of guys that are more than capable of taking the game over, adding that energy, whatever it takes to impact winning for our group. Got a lot of guys that are more than capable of doing that. You asked about AD. I mean, he's a beast, you know. Playing against him, you kind of feel that. But when you're on the same team and you see him dominate players day in and day out, through the ups, through the downs, whatever's being said about him, you out there playing against him, you definitely rather have him with you on your team. So to be a part of it last year and see those guys kind of elevate their play and rise their level of competitiveness throughout the season, it was fun to see and to be a part of.
Hey, D'Angelo, right here. Darvin Ham at his presser the other day came out basically unprompted and named you the team's starting point guard. What does it mean to get that vote of confidence?
Man, I appreciate all of that. Honestly, any words of encouragement from your head coach is always appreciated as a player. To have that trust in me is obviously something too that I see. Just appreciative, you know. Don't want to let them down, I guess.
Hey, D'Lo, in the back over here. What was your interaction with your teammates? You know, the guys you made bonds with in that short amount of time last year. How did you continue that connective tissue in the offseason, and how do you think that will benefit this group come the start of this year?
I think just being a selfless guy. You know, I think a lot of guys put that past the initial encounters with your teammates. I try to do that right away. Let guys know that I'm all about what you need from me. Obviously, I'm going to try to provide my own individual aspects to the game and approach, but knowing that guys can lean on me for whatever you need to be, relevant in the game. Having the ball in my hands a little bit, I feel like I have a sense of who needs what and what's missing elsewhere, and just being able to attack that throughout the season. But that starts with the relationship that you develop with your guys off the floor. So I try to do a good job of being that guy for everybody on the team, not just a lot of the guys that are playing. And with this time being here now, going into the season, it allows you to develop those relationships. And if it's Austin Reaves golf and what he has going on off the floor, it's genuinely there, and you develop that trust now. So.
D'Lo, just being drafted to this team and then coming back full circle, having a child, all of these things that you kind of, grow up as a man in this league. What has been like the biggest learning lessons that you've kind of gleaned from this experience and coming back?
Sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
I'm sorry. What have been the biggest learning lessons that you've gleaned coming back around this time, and what are you hoping to just set forth in terms of just a tone from the beginning of the season?
To clarify, you're saying as a younger player to now, right? Obviously the experience is huge. Being a guy that came into the league at 18, to this organization at that, you don't really know what you're preparing for. So to get that out of my system and leave, branch off, come back, I kind of have an idea on what I'm preparing for. I think simple as that is it allows me to have some experience going into the situation. But as far as myself, I always try to focus on myself, my approach, my mentality, my what I'm going to do, my work habits. And then I try to give that to y'all on display whenever I can. But it's all about what can I do to help, not really what my opponent's going to do or what an organization is going to do with me or whatever that may be. So just being prepared for what I'm being kind of thrown into.
D'Angelo over here. During your exit interview, you mentioned knowing really who you are as a player and also who you're not, and some of the things that you may never become as a player. With that in mind, in the offseason, do you spend more time trying to accentuate your strengths and just being better at them, or do you think about those areas of weakness and trying to shore them up?
Yeah, a lot of things that I hear is defensive abilities. I'm not the fastest, so I don't know how much faster I'm going to get. So accepting what I can do, and that's bring my mind to the defensive side of things, and that's being in the right place a lot of the times. That's communicating a lot of the times, bringing different elements that's probably I'm not going to provide the fastest, the speed to the game. That's not what I do. So just finding ways that I can do what I already do kind of good and just kind of be great at it. And what I'm need to work on, obviously look in the mirror and know those things. And just try to be in the best position is where it's not hurting the team or things like that. So,
hi, D'Angelo over here. Hi, you kind of waived your implied no trade clause in your contract for this season. Can you just talk about what went into that decision? I think caught some people by surprise.
That was a new rule. That was a new something new that was implemented into the contracts. I think it worked out for both parties. Obviously, letting a player have that kind of allows you to go into control your own destiny going into the summer or whatnot, right? So being able to do that, I think that was a big part of my decision. Yeah, I'm here for 2 years. This is my second year coming back, right, after my first year. And to be back is something hard to accept too, because you never know who wants to be here, what's next. So to be able to control my own destiny no matter what's going on, I think as a player, that's something that you want. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, guys.
AD, we just spoke to Rob and Darvin a couple days ago about the conversations in the offseason and the extension and kind of the mutual, like what they were expecting, what you wanted. Can you take us through that period and how that impacted your summer as you head into now this season?
It didn't. They offered the extension.
I accept it. That was really it. You know, my workouts didn't change. Because of the extension or anything like that. So let's say they contacted my agent. Agent contacted me. We had a meeting. That was really it.
Morning, bud. How you doing?
Good.
How do you and your teammates feel with the pressures, if it will, not only to have a successful season, but to win the whole thing? Because every year that statement is made about you and your team that you're going to win it, or at least get in the championship round.
We don't put pressure on ourselves. No pressure for us. We go out and compete at the highest level. Try to get better each and every day. We let the rest take care of itself. We do what we're supposed to do. Practice, games, shoot arounds, film, and get 1% better every day. It'll help us win a lot of basketball games, which at the end of the day, we want to compete for championships, but we don't go out and, day one of camp, like, this is what we have to do. We're going to win a championship. We're going to do this. Things don't happen that way. So we do the little things, and hopefully that lead us to, hopefully putting up 18.
80, good to see you. Hey, so you won a championship with the Lakers with Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee as your teammates in the paint. What do you think of the additions of Jackson Hayes and Christian Wood, and how do you anticipate your role vacillating between the 4 and the 5 this year?
Jackson's very athletic, rim protector, lob threat, kind of like JaVale. C. Wood, score, can play on all 3 levels of the floor. So he's a little different from, Dwight, but they're 2, great bigs who can compliment me very well. Me and Darv haven't had a chance to sit down and kind of figure out the role between 4 and 5 and things like that. But having those 2 guys, alongside me, can be a great thing, great possibility of doing good things on that front line. So we'll see how it play out. We go through camp. I know he's going to test out different lineups during preseason, and we'll see from there.
Over here. The core of the group that made it to the Western Conference Finals, minus Dennis, is back on this team. I think Austin on a podcast said something along the lines that you guys could sense Denver's continuity in that series, and the factor that was. How excited are you to enter a year coming off of winning and having continuity with this group? And what do you think that will allow this team to do more so this season than it was able to do last year?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have continuity, it's a lot easier, to start the season. Every year, we had new guys come in. That core is kind of, gone. And so it's a little tough when you're trying to, compete for championships. But I think now, that the core group, me, Austin, Rui, D'Lo, Bron, Vando, like I say, everybody really that core group except Dennis, we're back. And it kind of gives us, kind of a head start going to this season into camp to kind of build off what we left off last year.
80 over here. There's been a lot of buzz about your shooting. I think Austin mentioned it on a podcast, and Darvin and Rob talked about it. Where would you say your jump shot's at right now, and how much of it was that a point of emphasis for you this summer, just working on your jumper?
They're just getting back to being a threat on all 3 levels. Not sure where it's at until we get into practice and games. Anybody can shoot in workouts and make shots when there's no pressure on them. So we'll see when camp comes around and preseason games through the course of the regular season. But I feel good. I feel good physically. I feel good, with my game, and ready to get started.
Hello, Anthony. Is it still your goal to play all 82 games? And did you do anything different this summer working out to try to reach that goal?
I mean, it's my goal every year, to play 82. And I didn't do anything differently. I mean,
We've destroyed an enemy cruiser.
The ship is on fire.
Enemy
Problem solved, sir.
All stations. Reporting target.
The ship is on fire.
Detected. We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Took some time off, got back in the lab, and ready to get started. Nothing's changed. Every year, we want to come out and play every game and help the team win. Especially my role, I know it's a big piece of this team, and with me being on the floor, it definitely helps us.
AD, related to that, do you have any interest in playing the Olympics next year if you're asked? And if so, what does that look like in terms of the way you preserve your body and everything?
I have no idea yet.
Anthony, Rob and Darvin last week were kind of talking a lot about your role as a leader on this team. Just kind of wondering, as the years have kind of gone by, how do you feel you've grown into that position?
Just being more vocal, talking to the guys. I think I might be the second oldest guy here now, so the guys lean on me a lot, especially the bigs. Seawood and Jackson have already, kind of been on me about leading them and helping them every step of the way. But I feel like it's my responsibility. Being one of the leaders of the team alongside Brian, it's my job to help them guys and help the young guys to continuously being on them, letting them know what we need and how we can get better, and giving them advice so we can all be together and unified to be able to compete for a championship.
Hey, D, good to see you. Knowing who LeBron is, how he takes care of himself, and the way he plays, how do you expect he will approach season 21 compared to the first 20 seasons?
The same. I mean, he puts in a lot of work. Like you say, takes his nutrition very seriously, takes his body very seriously. His work ethic is unmatched, and obviously as you get older, your body starts to wear down. So he's in overdrive now on taking care of his body to be able to. Well, with the new rule, I don't know if he play all 82. Who knows? But however many games he's going to play, he's going to be ready. But knowing the competitor that he is, I know he's going to play all 82 and do everything he can to help the team win.
Hey, AD, over to your right. Just going back to the jump shot, is there anything you did differently during your training during the offseason to, I guess, help make it more consistent when the season comes?
No, just a lot more reps. That's what it takes. Anything to you want to perfect or get better, just reps. shooting it a lot more, working on different shots, different ways of shooting and things like that, and hopefully it all translates.
Hey, D. You did a lot of cross training this summer. There were videos of you boxing and such. How much did that help your body? How is your body feeling? And how do you anticipate being able to play all 82 this season?
Felt good. I mean, my body feels good. It's really for conditioning. I box every summer. That's just the one time it got posted. There's a lot of things that I do that you guys don't know about. But I'm prepared to play every game this year.
Anthony, when you look at the roster additions that you guys made over the summer, your health, everyone else's health, sort of this scene in the West, do you sense a big opportunity for you guys that this could be one of those years?
It's going to be a fun year, very competitive. A lot of teams around the league has made a lot of good moves to help improve their team. We did as well. So we know every night going to every game is going to be a battle. And, I think we're prepared for it. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do. But, I like our chances against anybody. We have depth. We have speed. We have shooting. We have ball handling. We have playmaking. We have it all. Now just trying to, get on the floor and start making it work.
The NBA has made it a point to try to put more emphasis on the regular season with the 65-game rule for winning awards, the resting rules, the in-season tournament. I'm curious what your reaction was to any of that stuff. And then lastly, on the in-season tournament, are you excited about it? Is that something that you guys will treat differently in any way?
As far as the in-season tournament, no. I mean, it's not like, it doesn't count against our record. So every game still matters. It's a little different. I think we, test it out this year and just kind of see how we like it. But, we're not going to treat it any differently than any other game. We still have to win those games. As far as the 65-game rule, it don't matter to me. I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it, Just go out there and lace them up, and whoever suits up for 65 get a reward. I mean, I'm not the one to play for individual awards, so I don't think that really bothers me at all.
Hey, D, over here. This is a bit of a follow-up to a previous question. When we spoke with Rob last week, he was marveling at the kind of work that LeBron was putting in prior to this season. When you hear about that and the commitment he's making to this coming season, what kind of effect does that have on the rest of the squad, if any?
I mean, we all working, we all committed to helping this franchise. And, anytime you see, not just Bron, obviously, he's a big part of this team. But anytime you see any of our guys, working, we feel good because now guys are putting in work to help the team and doing their part to, bring whatever skill set that they have to this team when we need it. So, Bron doing his part. Austin obviously was playing. D-Lo's here. Rui, been with Bron all summer. Seawood came right in and got to work. Jackson. So, all our guys, are Taurean. All our guys just come right in and start working. So that way when camp starts tomorrow, guys are not trying to get in shape. Guys are not trying to find their rhythm. We can hit the ground running.
Yeah, given the length of your contract extension, do you think this is your team now?
I think this is the Lakers team, and I play for the Lakers.
AD, I just want to ask you, when you first came into this Lakers organization, I asked you about the camaraderie of the team. Can you just evaluate the chemistry of this team going into the training camp, but also into the season, and just, what you would say about some of these young guys coming in?
Yeah, we had a couple workouts together where we really felt out the chemistry, and I think we're a lot further than we were last year. Guys come in and accepted each other, going out to eat with each other or whatever guys are doing, and I think we're very connected, well connected, and I think we'll be ready to start the ground running tomorrow.
Dr. Drew and my wife Susan here. We want to show you something.
You've probably seen this guy.
How you doing, Rui? Ready to go? All right. LeBron just told us that you spent a lot of time with workouts this summer. I just wondered, where did that start? Did you approach him after the season, and was it, and what was kind of the main thing that you were trying to get out of those workouts throughout the summer?
I think when it started from Phil, him and I know Phil's been walking out for years, and the Phil said, Phil told me after the season, he said that I think I should walk out with him, this summer as much possible. I think it's gonna help my games out, bring my games up. So then I was just trying to, kind of see his schedule, he has a different stuff going on too. So whenever he's here or whenever he's travel, walkouts, I just kind of follow him, and just to, walk out with him. But it was great, I appreciate for him to let me walk out with him. It was a great experience for me, and just learning from him, of course, on the court, but off the court, just taking care of his body, weight room, all kind of stuff, and just talk about stuff, basketball stuff, and I learned a lot of things from him. So I appreciate him, and of course Phil. Phil's a guy. He shout out to him. He connected me and him. So yeah.
Hey Rui, good to see you. Welcome back. Far be it for me to sit here and talk about somebody losing or gaining weight, but it looks like you've changed your body a little bit this summer.
I just this is what happened. So for some of these Lakers people, the social media people, they decided to post the picture next to Brown. That was the problem. My weight was fine. I was same weight like last season.
Have you changed your body at all? Did you lose weight
I
this
mean,
summer?
I think it's more defined. That's what it is. I've been walking out, but it's just they put the picture next to him, the Brown. So that's why, it looked like I was more, it's of course, so I was kind of mad about it, but no, my weight's fine. I'm just a little more defined, more like a basketball body. That's what it is. Yeah. Look at me. Look, you see? Yeah. No. Trust me. Yeah.
Rui, your three-point shooting jumped almost 20% from the regular season to the playoffs with the Lakers. What do you feel like went into that rhythm and that flow that you were in, and then how sustainable do you feel like that is with the off-season work that you put in, that you can maybe not shoot 48% again, but shoot close to 40%?
Yeah, even the one when I was a Wizards, I think the one season before, I was shooting 45% or something for regular season. So it was I already had it. I just I just had to get in the rhythm. And the whole trade and everything going on is just and it was the different system. So I just had to get used to it. And I was walking out with Phil, every day, and saying he said just be ready for those playoffs. When the playoffs come, those three gonna fold. So I would just keep walking out, and yeah, the right time. Just when we were on the playoff, I just did it I just walked on. So it's just a more I think it's a momentum side. Especially for me, bigger games for me, it's more I get my strengths up. So it's just those stuff always since I was kids, big games. I love those big games. So so that's why it happened. I feel it wasn't really nothing technical change or anything. It's just a momentum side. Yeah.
Hello, Rui. Darvin mentioned last week his starters: D'Angelo, Brian, AD, Austin. So there's one job out there that's open. Do you view that as something that you want to take, or is that something that you have to work towards?
I mean, here's the thing, it's just I feel like each game is different, So even last year too, we changed a lot of starting lineup, throughout the course, even after I got traded. and we just gotta adjust. Each games and more for me more so starting or not. I think I'm okay about playing time. More playing time is more important for me, and I want to finish the game. That's my main thing, and whatever the coaches decide, I just I'm here for. I'm fine whatever they decide, but I want to I want to finish the game. That's my goal. Yeah.
Hey Rui, whether it was the workouts with LeBron or just on your own, was there an area of your game or a single area of your game that you really dedicated yourself
Talk about
to?
him, yes. Yeah.
That you really dedicated yourself to improving just one singular area?
Yeah, for sure. Me and him walked on a lot of mid post, those areas, a lot, and of course we did a lot of shootings, ball handlings, overall it's a whole package. But just those footwork and the stuff. That was my main goal for this summer, and then those footwork was really it's going to help my games. It's going to help my games, a different way. So I just watched him closely, and he taught me a lot of little trick, the points, the footwork, and yeah, it's those kind of stuff, and using the body, it's just he mentioned that he said me and him has the similar body type. That's what he said. So, that's the thing. If you have the body type like that, you can use the body and just get to the spot, and just it's an easy shot. So those kind of stuff I worked on with him, and I think I learned a lot from him. Yeah.
こんにちは、八村選手、一番後ろの左側。
はい。
お疲れ様です。
はい、ありがとうございます。
昨シーズンは今までで一番優勝まで近づいたシーズンだったと思うんですけれども、その優勝を間近に感じたことで、今シーズンへのモチベーションはどれぐらい上がって、それに対してどんな準備をしてきたと、その準備は万端という思いでしょうか。
そうですね。正直言って、ウィザーズの時からそんな、優勝しようってやってなかったので、レギュラーシーズン始まる時もやっぱりプレーオフに先にプレーオフ行こうってやってたので、でもこういう優勝チームに入ることによって、このシーズンに対してのそのモチベーションも違いますし、やっぱり長くなるな、シーズンも長くなるってことで、そういう中で自分としてもメンタル的にも体的にもこの夏準備できたと思うので、そういうところに関してはもうやっぱり優勝を目指すためにチームのケミストリーもそうですし、そういうところが今回は結構トレーニングキャンプ前から結構チームとしてもやってきてたので、そういうところはすごい役立つんじゃないかなと思います。
八村選手、どうもお疲れ様です。はい、ワールドカップを戦う日本代表を見てどのように感じましたか。あとパリ五輪の出場の方は今の時点でどのように考えていらっしゃいますでしょうか。
そうですね。僕も試合終わった後すぐユータさんと雄大さんと富樫君と連絡して、そうですね。もう僕もすごい嬉しくてもうずっと家で叫んでたんですけど、もうやっぱこうやって自力でそうやってオリンピックが行けたってことはすごいことですし、僕としてもすごい嬉しかったですし、こうやって僕がもうその年代今やって4人がその小さい頃からやってきて行くぞってやってきた中で今回僕は出れなかったんですけど、そうやって僕の代わりというかその3人がしっかりやってくれて、他にも比江島さんもそうですし他の若い子たちもそうやってやってくれて日本全体で今までのこの積み重ねがあっての勝ちだったと思うので、僕もすごい嬉しかったですし、すごい楽しみですね。
八村選手、よろしくお願いします。改めて今シーズンの目標、そしてゴールをお聞かせください。
そうですね。もちろん優勝っていうのはもちろんありますし、それはもう絶対変わらないと思いますし、やっぱ僕らの去年のそのプレーオフでいたこのコアのメンバーも戻ってきているので、そういう中ではケミストリーは僕らももうあるので、その中で他の選手たちが入ってきてどういうふうにケミストリーになるかっていうのも楽しみですし、その自分としては個人としてはもっとアグレッシブにゴールにアタックできたらいいなと思います。
What's up, everybody? So look, did we get just about everybody? Did you guys see every player that you want to see? Did everybody catch LeBron earlier? If you didn't catch LeBron, let me know in the chat. You want to hear any other player that you want to hear talk? You know, we saw Austin, we saw AD, we saw just about everybody. Let me know in the chat if there's somebody who you want to see. If not, we're gonna go ahead and probably end this stream. I might run LeBron again, but you guys, let me know in the chat real quick. Let me jump on camera real quick, man. Hey, I'm back, man. LA Sports Live, going into our 5th year of Laker coverage. We started in the championship season, and I called the championship during training camp of that season. I just had a feeling that it was going to go down. I called the championship. You guys go back. You don't believe me? Go back and look at some of my old videos, some of my very first videos here. You go back and look at them, and then you'll see I predicted a championship. And that's what I'm doing again this year. I got that feeling again. It's all about that purple and gold, the Lakers. All about the purple and gold, the Lakers. And number 18 is coming this season. You guys let me know in the chat if you want to. Yo, it's all about that purple and gold, baby. All about that purple and gold. I got my Laker beanie on like my boy LOE. Got my, shit. Damn, Eric. Fuck, I had the shit. Oh, let me fix it. There we go. That's what it's all about right there. You heard it first on LA Sports Live. Number 18. This is a prediction. It's a fact. It's going to happen. Number 18 is going to happen this year, baby. Matter of fact, well, I ain't going to go that far. But it's a championship. Number 18 coming this season. And I just got that feeling again, man. Of course, we don't know. Unforeseen things happen sometimes and throughout the course of the season. But the good thing about it is this team here is built, to sustain, as long as they're not season-ending injuries. This team right here is built to sustain injuries, not only from the backcourt, but the front court as well. So I think the Lakers got a legitimate shot, you know what I'm saying? Of course, Phoenix is going to be tough. The defending champions are going to be tough. But they lost a couple of key pieces. And I think the Denver Nuggets are going to be a one-hitter quitter. That's just my opinion. I think the Denver Nuggets are going to be a one-hitter quitter. They lost some key pieces off the bench. And I really, based upon them losing those pieces, I don't think that franchise is, they're not willing to make the financial commitment to keep a championship team together. Like I said, I believe that the Phoenix Suns are going to be very formidable. After the Bill trade went down, we looked at their team, we looked at their roster, and it wasn't right. It wasn't deep enough. But shout out to the general manager of the Phoenix Suns. My wife is texting me for the hell. Shout out to the general manager of the Phoenix Suns, man. Dude, he was able to flip Ayton and then get the much needed depth that the Phoenix Suns are going to need to make a run. So, yeah. It's going to be a long season, man. It's going to be a long season. I think I want to get out. I want to try to get out to Phoenix this year, man. My schedule's just jacked, man. Y'all, the schedule's jacked, but we definitely probably make the run back to New York again like we did last season. And we'll get out to some games out at crypto this season, man. But I think this is going to be a Lakers year. Not going to be easy. There's a lot of good teams, man. A lot of good teams. We know all the stuff that's happening back east with the Bucks. By the way, I'm not sold on the Bucks. I repeat, I'm not sold on the Bucks. Maybe I'll do a video about it, but I'm not sold on the Bucks nor the Celtics. They'll beat everybody up in the East, and and fight with each other. But at the end of the day, I got a lot of questions about both of those teams. But we'll talk about it in another video. Yeah, man, it's time for me to end the stream, man. The kids are on their way home, and then we got to switch to homework and all that other kind of stuff. So time out for the Lakers for today. Anyway, thanks, guys, for supporting the stream. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Thanks to all the older subscribers who are still hanging around. Shout out to Eric Kwan in the chat. Shout out to my main man, LOE. You guys make sure you go subscribe to Lakers Over Everything. It's my Laker brother. And man, it's a great day to be a Laker fan, man. I'm telling you, it's going to be big things coming from the Lakers this season. Anyway, this is your boy, AC, LA Sports Live. I will wrap with y'all later.